You are about to opt in to Monerotopia, a show for the Monero community where all are welcome to join. From noob to maxi, no matter what bags you hold. Just sit back and relax to the sweet sounds of Monero's latest progress. Or if you're feeling inspired, join us on stage. Remember, the only thing that can stop Monero is a false belief that it can be stopped. And if you want to win the revolution faster, we recommend you remove your XMR from all custodial exchanges immediately. Warning, voting accidents are common around here. Don't forget to properly secure your private keys. Monerotopia starts now.
All right. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning on this rainy Saturday, at least here.
Yeah, it's dreary over here a little bit too, actually. It's beautiful this week, though. Yesterday was a gorgeous day. Beautiful day.
I'm going to be happy for tonight when it's actually supposed to get down into the 50s overnight, so it can cool down a little bit.
Yeah? How warm is it?
I think yesterday it was like 85.
Okay. You like the cool weather?
I like the cooler weather. It doesn't need to be cold, but it needs to be cooler.
Yeah, for sleeping. Yeah. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
But I love the summer, man. I love even the heat. Even like New York summer when it's really hot and muggy. I actually don't mind it.
Yeah, see, no thanks.
Sunshine beaming on you. Doug, what is your favorite Five Guys milkshake flavor? We must know.
That's hilarious.
Interesting. Who is the Sawan right now? Very.
Hey, I'm not sure if I have a bad connection to you guys or if Doug is cutting out.
Monero is love. Really? I'm cutting out?
I don't know if it's me
Guys,
or you.
let us know. How's the
Let us
sound?
know.
Sorry for the baby in the background. Guys, give us a thumbs up, whatever, if our sound is all right. Like and share. Let's get some people in here. Monero's love, Monero's. Yeah, so that's interesting. Doug is slow, bit laggy. Huh. That sucks.
Okay, I'm glad it was not just me then, because at first I thought it was just me.
Must be my internet. That's interesting.
Oh, well, we'll make it work.
The connection is laggy right now. Let me check something.
Well, if nothing else, we'll make it work. It's just the joys of technology, right?
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning there, Bawdy. How are you?
Pretty good.
Good morning. Good morning. My internet speed is showing that it's working all right, so I don't know what that's all about.
I think it was just a moment. You cut out for like
Okay.
10 seconds, but it's been good ever since.
But let's go back to this. So this is a little strange because I just had a Five Guys milkshake yesterday. And somebody's asking me, what is my favorite Five Guys milkshake flavor? We must know. Interesting.
He already knows.
Well, then
What's that all about, buddy?
then it
He
sounds
already
like you're in
knows.
the-
Who is this? You could come up on stage. Conwonk, please join us on stage. So yeah, buddy, we'll have you do price report, and then we got Tony. He's going to do news today. He's also going to be our special guest.
All right.
He's got some news to tell us about. There's an event that's going to be happening in, I believe, the Miami area next week, alongside Consensus, I think, is the conference. And it's actually it's gaining some traction. So Tony's going to jump up. He's going to tell us all about that. He's going to be attending. I would like to attend, but I don't think it's going to happen. Maybe. It would be a very last-minute thing, and I would just come in for a day. But it does look like it's shaping up to be a nice event. So Tony will jump on, tell us all about that. He'll do the news. And, yeah, that's all we got. Anything, any other house cleaning, things to bring up before we let Bawdy take it away?
Not on my end.
Any big topics to talk about? What is the big topic this week in Monero land? I'm seeing continued drama with the Wagyu thing. We could talk about that at some point. I don't know if anybody has any insight into that. I'm just seeing a lot of drama around it. I guess Fluffy is now a part of the project. Was there recent? Are you guys following it? Was there recently something that happened where people are worried that there might be a rug pull of some sort?
There was like they were down for a minute, and then I don't know, something about North Korea, something about making
Oh
sure
yes, right. They like turned off their services temporarily.
yeah,
They wanted to avoid being used as for money laundering for North Korea. I mean, understandable. If they have an identity connected to this service, it's not decentralized, and they're admitting that they're cognizant of the fact that their services is being used for those purposes. Yeah, they would be stupid not to shut it down if they're admitting that they're knowing that it's being used for these purposes.
yeah. I mean,
So
they probably don't want to go to jail.
blame
so you
them
can't
there,
blame them.
right? I can, right? But they're just proving that it's not decentralized, which we've already. But I think that's been some of the drama, right? I think they've the Wagyu guy kind of categorized it as decentralized at some point. I think that's where a lot of the drama is coming from. Monero community.
I think
being
you just look at them
curious.
like a regular
Instant
instant
exchange.
swap. Like
Yeah.
look at them like Xlix, you know.
Right. It's an instant exchange. I guess, if anything, it's one that has potentially. Is it more liquid than I haven't used it. Is it like more seamless than an instant exchange? Is it more quicker?
I don't know.
I haven't used it.
Because these instant exchanges, they do take some time sometimes.
Yeah,
They take a few. Sometimes they could take a few hours. You know, you're not making a quick. It's hard. You're not really making a quick trade.
I've noticed
don't really-
Xlix has gotten pretty good. Like, I've even seen them. I think I remember seeing them sometimes approve with like less than 10 confirmations.
Damn, Doug, how much are you swapping? Every time I've used the instant exchanges, I've always gotten my Monero within like 10 or 15 minutes. You must be swapping like huge amounts or something.
Nah. But I love the Xlix people. I love the exchange as well too. But they're great. They've been very big supporters of the Monerotopia conference. They've been great, and they're great people behind the project. And I have used them, and it's been pretty smooth as far as instant exchanges go. But yeah, no, in general, I've seen some swaps take some time. And that's not necessarily Xlix. Trocador is obviously great because it's an aggregator and it picks the best one at the time. The Wagyu thing, I got to give it a try. You know, the Wagyu guy had reached out to me at one point too. Actually, Bawdy, he mentioned your name too, because he was looking for people to, I guess, hold the keys. Which I get is that what Fluffy is doing? Is he like the trusted?
Yeah, see, I don't know, like, because he had offered to a few people, and I was one of them. I guess because of that, the interview that I did with Thread Guy.
Right.
So,
okay.
yeah, what he's got like this signature scheme where it's like a 4 out of 7. He holds 1, and no, he holds 4. No, sorry, let me get this right. He holds 4, and then 3 other people each hold a key. So, you know, it requires at least one of us to agree with him. Which is like really like it's only slightly more security than what it was. It wasn't like truly more secure. I guess it's a move in the right direction, but yeah, I wasn't really confident about being part of that. And like I ultimately decided I didn't want to be a part of it. It's like I'm basically helping run infrastructure. So effectively, we would have kind of nodes written in Python, and that's how we would sort of like have like the small node network where we could, you know, determine when to approve or move funds or whatever. But it would still leave him with the ability to, it wouldn't, like he couldn't drain everything. Was it 2 out of 7 signatures? Man, I'm sorry. It's too early in the morning, I guess. It would make it so that he couldn't drain all the funds, and neither could we. It required like coordination from at least one of us, and then also him to do anything.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he had reached out to me, asked me to if I'd be interested in this, and he mentioned you as being somebody that might do it, and he mentioned Ricardo at the time too. This is before that came out.
If he had
But yeah,
implemented this, they would have published that, hey, we did this thing.
yeah,
So,
yeah. So do you think they should do it?
I think he should just build that network bridge or the decentralization thing that he was talking about, which is effectively kind of the same concept. It's just more nodes. It's just having like a separate node network.
It's more federated or whatever. Yeah.
It wouldn't really be federated, but it might kind of effectively be federated in a certain way. It's hard to imagine a bunch of people running these nodes, but maybe the Hyperliquid guys really catch on and say, you know what, we need Monero. And so maybe they all start running their own little node. Who knows, right? Maybe.
Yeah, I don't really know much about Hyperliquid to begin with, and yeah, we could have Wagyu dude on here. I think I tried. I guess he's not right. He hasn't done any interviews or anything. But he
Not that I've
tweets
heard.
a lot. He's out there all the time. Obviously, I tried getting Ricardo to come do a show. I think we deserve to hear from Ricardo with what he's been accused of and everything, and
I mean, he's lost a lot of rep.
Dude, he's lost a lot of rep, and he's acting like nothing's happened. Acting like nothing's happened. It's like, okay, let's just. I guess that works. That kind of works on the internet. People just like move on.
Yeah. I mean, it's related. Obviously, it's related to the delayed release of God, it's going to be a bad price report, guys. My head's cooked.
Body's cooked.
Didn't even drink last night. No, the delayed release of Tari, and then it's just like abysmal performance. Like I've hardly ever seen a coin launch and look that bad. And then he gets accused by some guy, in the project. Like,
Well, not some
Speaking
guy.
of Tari, did you
like
see it was
his
up
best
30%?
friend. Tari went up 30%.
Yeah.
after going
It
down.
hit rock
like
bottom.
99,
Maybe did it bottom out? Maybe it bottomed out.
Maybe. We'll see.
It did minus 100x, and then it made 30%.
I mean, Bawdy just owes everybody an explanation of what's going on because now he's out here and he's the guy behind, that's supposedly bringing trust to Wagyu because that's their one issue.
You mean
I owe
Fluffy?
everyone an explanation.
Huh?
You
I
mean
said
Fluffy?
I owe everybody. An
Oh, I'm sorry,
explanation.
Fluffy. Did I say Bawdy?
Yes, you did.
I can
Fluffy.
I can give you an explanation. It's probably not going to be true, but I can do it.
Sorry, Ricardo Spagni, Fluffy.
Yeah, no.
We've I don't know. It's a little sketch, it's a little weird. I told the Wagyu people too. I was like, listen, I don't know if having Ricardo on your project is like gonna help you right now. Are you not paying attention? So yeah, I would like to hear more from them. But Wagyu, we could do a show with them. We could have them on. If we learn more about them, maybe we'd have more trust. But yeah, it's like an instant exchange. You really shouldn't be judged any differently. So if you use instant exchanges, you trust instant exchanges. It's the same. It's really the same thing at the end of the day. All right. I guess let's move ahead with the price.
I agree. Let's just do it.
The Monerotopia Price Report segment is sponsored by Exolix, privacy-first multi-chain swap aggregator designed for seamless instant swaps. Exchange XMR instantly with the fully non-custodial, KYC-free experience and secure execution across hundreds of blockchains.
All right. All right, let's go to the chart. I just had to go grab some water. Give me one second.
Monero full chain membership proofs is live on testnet. Yeah. It's like closer than ever. Get Bodhi a Five Guys milkshake to help the guy out. Five Guy. I mean, you could be. Are you who I think you are? We've met at Five Guys years ago.
That would be funny.
I mean, that could be. There was a
Maybe
Monero
are you
bro.
just like a Five Guys milkshake aficionado, and he?
They might not have Five Guys in Mexico though. I'm not sure.
I think they do, but I don't really
Do
drink.
they have Five Guys in Mexico?
I don't drink milk that doesn't come from grass-fed cows. It just messes me up. Messes my sinuses up.
Yeah. I love a good milkshake, though. Oh, my God.
Yeah, ice cream, too. God, my heart misses ice cream so much.
Oh, why? Because you can't find any good grass-fed ice cream, I guess?
I used to in the States at Whole Foods. It was like goat ice cream, and it was also
Goat
grass-fed. Goat milk ice cream. It was kind of expensive, but, pretty good. Actually, really good.
Yeah, I hit the Whole Foods. It is quite pricey, though.
Yeah.
Guys, send your Monero-based super chats. I love Costco ice cream. Yeah, this guy's a real local. This guy's a real New York City, tri-state area local. Send your super chats, xmrchat.com/MoneroTalk. Why isn't it working when I send the thing? And we will bring them up. Bawdy man, take it away. Looks like things are turning up in crypto. They continue to turn up. There was a little bit of a setback, but obviously the broader markets themselves have been wild. Just completely kind of ignoring the war and the fact that oil is going up and looks like it will be up for a sustained amount of time. Right, and then we got news that there'll likely be no lowering of interest rates anytime soon. Market still didn't care, went up. So it's like everything's priced in and the market just wants to go up. It's like a little bit bizarre.
Yeah,
man.
I think that oil is starting to stabilize somewhat. It's weird. It's like what they can do is dangle out these horrible scenarios, make it look like they're going to happen, and then walk them back a little bit. And the markets are so relieved, they just super pump after that. That's exactly what happened last year with the
tariffs,
with that mini crash that we had. And, because Trump was like, we're going to hit them hard with all these tariffs and this and that. Yeah. And the market's like, oh, no. And they all fall. And then they're like, well, we're in negotiations. So some countries are finally capitulating. And, and then the markets, not only do they rebound, but then they pump way higher after that. Somehow they've been managing to like talk these markets higher in this weird kind of way. Yeah. Maybe that's just the front excuse for like some other kind of money printing or schema they have in the background, but
I mean, and it does feel like crypto feels strong. It feels like, it feels like we hit bottom, like the bear market's over. Things may take a while. Sure, that can change overnight, and I guess I'll be surprised, but it does feel like it's strong and it's leading the market, it's leading everything. And maybe it will even decorrelate from the broader market if the broader market starts to go down. I don't know. But crypto does feel pretty strong right now.
It's possible, but it's also still inside of this rising wedge structure. So which is also kind of like resembles a bear flag in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Well, everybody's been waiting for that, right? I mean, calling for the next leg down. So yeah, not until it breaks out.
Yeah, basically, there's kind of two things that need to happen here with Bitcoin. It needs to cleanly break above the lower standard deviation bands, and it needs to break out of this wedge structure. If it does that, then okay, I'll be convinced that sure, this was the bottom. It's kind of rare. Normally, you would come down to this like bottom cluster right here, those blue bands. That's kind of historically been the place where the bear market has bottomed. And then also, we've got the regression that sits somewhere between 50 and maybe it was 60,000. That was kind of like, this line is rising really fast though. At this point, like it's difficult for me to believe that Bitcoin can actually hold above this green line, just because of how fast it rises. But I guess that's all to be seen. I still think probably there's another leg down, especially since the markets continue to obey the 4-year cycle, right? So, like that, if we had just gone with the 4-year cycle, really, it's more like the 3 years and 11 month cycle is kind of what it seems like it is, what it's turned into. But yeah, we should be looking at like August to November for a bottom. And I hate to just
that's what everybody's saying. Yeah, because of the 4-year cycle.
Yeah,
everybody
Cowan, said.
Right?
Maybe everybody didn't say that in October though. I think everyone was like, "Nah, it can't be true."
Yeah, it took some time for people to realize we were in a bear market. But what's that guy's name? Benjamin Cohen, I think is right. Yeah, so he's been a big proponent of that for quite some time, and he's seemingly been right about a lot of things over the years in terms of his general observations about the market.
Yeah,
I haven't tuned
bad.
in lately, but I think he's still pretty steadfast on the fact that we're likely going to see the bottom in October or whatever in the fall.
Yeah, I mean, especially with the geopolitics, you kind of have to expect that they're going to pull something out and something's going to be retarded. It always is.
Yeah. There'll be some other black swan event or something, but I do think Trump is going to try to get the pump the markets for the midterms, and that's coming up around that time, in the fall. So I don't know. Obviously, nobody knows. Nobody knows. But if I had a bet at this point, I would say I think the bottom's in for Bitcoin. There might be like another scare, but I think overall we're on the upswing. If I had a bet right now, because it doesn't leave him much time to get the market. Like Trump really can't risk the markets.
Yeah, but Bitcoin isn't the markets. Bitcoin is just a market.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. So like a scenario where like NASDAQ continues to go up and crypto goes down.
I mean, at this point, the NASDAQ doesn't even have to go up that much more. It could really just chop sideways until the elections, and he would still look pretty good. It'd still be at all-time highs. That you'd still have crazy good gains for the year.
So right, and in that scenario, I just feel crypto would go up. I just feel it would, because it would be, it's just a more extreme version of the NASDAQ.
You would think that,
like going to be rolling their profits into it.
The NASDAQ went up since the bottom, or since Bitcoin topped. NASDAQ has been going up and Bitcoin has been going down, right? Bitcoin lost 55% of its value, even as the NASDAQ kept pumping.
Yeah, I know. That's crazy. That's wild.
So, yeah, I mean, the thing is, they're not perfectly correlated. I think what I've decided it's more about when they go on a major liquidity expansion. When you see a big liquidity expansion, that typically that correlates with, everything pumping, basically.
All right, man. Well, I'll let you take it away.
All right, well, we're looking here at the Monero chart. We always try and start with Monero, which is kind of odd. It's a bit off because typically you want to understand the big picture and then you want to zoom in. It's like school. I always thought it was wrong in school. They teach you the smallest, nittiest details, and only then did they try and like teach you the big picture. And they don't even teach you the big picture. You're just kind of supposed to put it together, which is stupid. Whatever. Anyways, we're going to be stupid today, and like we are every day. And we're going to start with Monero first. Monero has been going up, doing pretty good. We're sitting here at $385 and $384, and I think it's been effectively going up with Bitcoin. Although I do think I might like the chart structure here a little better. Let's just draw some lines. These aren't really great lines because you could kind of draw it a few different ways, like that maybe. Either way, it doesn't matter. And then you got this kind of like rising structure here. I guess I would be forced to say that this is kind of a bear flag, but honestly, I don't believe this. The only reason we would call this a bear flag is simply because of that big pump that happened. It's not like Monero was up here, doing this, right, and then came down here and made a bear flag, right? It's not like that. So I don't really believe this so much as a bear flag. It's just a rising channel, which is fine. Monero could continue in this rising channel. Let's zoom in a little bit and see what the 4-hour tells us. Maybe I should save. Oh, that's why. I was on the wrong chart to start with. All right, what is that? The daily. All right, so let's draw those lines. I just trashed my Xano chart on accident. Wait, that's weird. What were we on? XMR USD? Kraken? Okay, XMR USD. Sorry, I'm a little bit. I guess I'm a little bit scattered here, but let me redraw this really quick, and that way we can move on. Slowing down here. I guess that's good enough right there. Okay, let's go to the 4 hours, see what we can see. Take a minute to load. Yeah, so right now you can see that Monero is basically come out of that lower standard deviation bands. This is good, right? That's good. You kind of touched this one. You barely tagged it. That's a longer term, not that long. We're on the 4-hour chart, but that's a longer term band, right? Everything crashed. Monero touched a very reasonable spot, and then has since gotten above that sort of these lower standard deviation bands that were formed from this whole run up. So I guess that's fine. Everything's fine. Maybe it wouldn't even surprise me here if Monero managed to break out of this and then kind of do something like that. That would be our best case scenario, right? That would be our nice, responsible chart pattern. So ultimately, there's probably going to be some resistance here at this guy at that upper standard deviation band, but that's pretty exciting, guys. Like even though I still wonder about how much this pump was orchestrated by people that might have wanted to see that for various reasons. I still think to myself that that becomes like a new place, right? A new target to maybe shoot for. So if Monero does something like that, we're ultimately probably going to look at some big breakouts above the previous all-time high, which I still kind of regard as 500. I want to see an actual, consistent, real breakout that sustains above 500. Okay. More likely than not, we're going to see something, kind of like this that kind of stays in this channel for a period of time. I still don't see a whole lot that like will force things one way or another as far as crypto goes. Maybe
Body, where is that upper standard deviation that you mentioned to be resistance?
Right, sits at 470.
Okay, thanks.
And then the lower standard deviation sits at about 325. So currently there's this parallel channel. Monero's kind of about 3/4 up the way there at the moment. So yeah, I guess the chart looks pretty okay. Like I wouldn't call it the most amazing chart in the world, right? I wouldn't call this the $100,000 chart just yet, but it looks nice. I like it. I like the coin. Bitcoin, Monero versus Bitcoin is still chopping sideways, so it was looking a little bit dubious for a minute. I think last week that we talked, it was looking a little bit dubious that hey, this thing could fall down further, but it managed to stabilize. So that's fine. I guess let's go to the 4-hour. I think we could actually see a small term standard deviation, that cluster that's like sort of keeping things bound. Yeah, basically this guy. So this isn't a very prominent kind of cluster, but there's a few other ones here. So we could it's kind of hard, but I'm getting schizophrenic here. Let me erase everything. Something like this right here looks like your bottom, and then something like this zone looks like your sort of capping zone. So yeah, at the moment, for the past really almost 3 months, 1, 2, 3, 3 months now, Monero versus Bitcoin has basically just been constrained inside of this range, which is about 0.005. So yeah, I mean, I guess, again, we kind of, we've talked about this. I said, hey, I don't expect crypto to do much. I mostly expect sideways action here for some period of time. Okay, we've been drifting higher, but that's not like bull market territory, right? That's not like truly making new gains. That's just you can drift higher while still being basically sideways. So effectively, that's what's happened with the ratio, at least like pure sideways on the ratio. Whereas Bitcoin is drifting higher. I think the total market cap is actually, yeah, it's also drifting higher, but like just barely, like 10%, 11%. In terms for as far as Bitcoin goes, the local bottom, that's 30% up. Okay, that's not bad. That is up as measured from the bottom, but as measured from sort of the median, it's currently only about 15% above the median. Okay, sure. Let's see, what else do we have here? We could do the XMR dominance. XMR dominance currently sort of capped by this standard deviation cluster. So, but that's actually looking pretty good. The fact that it went there, shot above it, and now it's just like stabilizing at that area. It's possible this thing could go up. Although, if hypothetically, I mean, so if there's more bear market to come, which it's hard to believe that was the bottom. Like, I can't believe that was the bottom, but I also couldn't believe it was the top. So, maybe I'm not to be trusted there in that regard, especially since I'm not hawkish. I'm not like just every day in and out of these markets, right? I'm not like I used to be, where I was just constantly watching everything. So maybe there's a reason to take my analysis here with a little bit, more of a grain of salt. Anyways, if the bear market is still on and the 4-year cycle holds, and there's going to be some, additional black swan to give things one final dip, and buy that dip, by the way. If it does dip, then buy it. If that's the case, that there's more bear market, then the XMR dominance is probably going to start moving up some more, just because, shitcoins must die, right? Billions of shitcoins must die. All right, so I guess that's all for Monero. We could look at Monero ETH, maybe. We haven't looked at this one in a while. Not much changing here. I guess we're headed. It looks like it's headed for the upper standard deviation cluster at some point. Sure. I still think ETH has a lot of value, but maybe that's the reason why it actually won't really perform. Because it kind of has. I think that the cabal, like the government, I should say, I think the governments actually find ETH to be problematic. Because of how powerful it really is. Like, it can do a lot of stuff. And yeah, sure, it's not private, but it's way more powerful than Bitcoin. I'll tell you that. It's like the only thing they want ETH to do is their stable coins. Like that seems to be pretty much the only thing they want. After that, it seems like they want to try and cap what ETH could actually do. Because like, for example, if you go through Tornado Cash, like, and then you deposit those funds on an exchange, expect to get frozen. Expect them to freeze your account, kick you off, steal your funds, whatever. Like, you can't, like, it's okay, it's legal. You won't get arrested for it. It's not an OFAC whatever anymore, but you will get your exchange accounts frozen if they can connect you to Tornado Cash. So just be aware of that. And I'm just kind of using that as one of many examples of where it's like, yeah, it does seem like the government's still trying to like cap Ethereum. Oh, and also Polymarket. But is Polymarket, is that on Ethereum? It's not on Ethereum. It's like a whole other thing. Anyways, whatever. The only thing they want is Polymarket for their insider trading fraud and stablecoins, government stablecoins. Okay, so that's enough about Monero. Let's go to the privacy shitcoins. Today they're shitcoins, I guess. Let me go backwards. Fine, we'll just do it this way. Xano, USDT. Yeah, this one's fine. All right. Okay, so yeah, let's look at Xano. We'll just take them left to right. Might as well. Xano, a little bit on a dip here in terms of its recent pump. I mean, sure, they got this big pump here out of some news, but buy the news, buy the rumor, sell the news, right? Or buy the news and and then sell after the news and don't wait for the actual event. Because, anyways, whatever. There's Xano. Hero is, we've talked about this chart. It's a dangerous chart. Seems like a chart that kind of always wants to eventually go down again. Currently found a bottom, has managed to put on about 50%. Okay, that's all right. Pirate Chain doing nothing. I guess they're kind of maybe bottoming-ish. They might, let's look at the weekly. They're long enough now to look at the weekly. They might trying to be hope for like, they want to kind of like put a higher low in, right? Maybe they like desperately hope that this will happen. I don't know. To me, this looks like a chart that should come naturally. It should come to these lower standard deviation bands. But at this moment, I don't actually believe that there's a whole lot of activity on Pirate Chain, like as far as trading goes. It's hard to believe that there's any real volume there. Their major source of volume, like a year or two ago, went away. I don't know, they exit scammed or something. They just disappeared, right? I forget what they're called. Doesn't matter. But I also like, it's hard to trust how organic this chart may or may not be, right? Like, this is just 90% ASIC mined within 3 years. So the people that hold the coin is a very small group of people, and they want to extract as much value out of this as they can. Like, it's insane to think that they wouldn't want to extract as much value as they possibly can. So, and then who's buying Pirate Chain right now? Like, who? The poor anarchists that live in Mexico? No, they already bought as much Pirate Chain as they can. Like, so no one, who else is there to buy? So this chart can only bottom when the supply holders stop selling. So, sorry guys, that's just the truth. And I know there's going to be like one edge case or like a few edge cases, but I'm not a poor anarchist and I'm still buying. Okay, bro, good for you, but shut up. Like, you don't matter. Like, your buys don't matter unless you're like truly, buying millions at a time, which nobody is. All right. Anyways, Cubic seems to have taken a tumble. Good. This is good. I guess if there's another bull market, maybe their coin will go up again. And probably, yes. If there's another bull market, there will be enough slosh liquidity around to dump into Cubic, probably for whoever nefarious assholes are behind it, not just, you know, the one dude that's like the face of the coin, you know, come from behind. what a gay name. Anyways, yeah, there's nothing they can do to hurt Monero right now to like disrupt the network. Tari has managed to actually put on from the bottom, has managed to currently put on 100%. Wow, how amazing. See, this is what I was hoping to catch when I bought. When did I buy? I don't even remember. I think it was like here, maybe. So I'm only down 60%. Maybe. I don't even remember when I bought. So like, I mean, fuck. Okay, but you know, Tari is still down. Let's check this out. Tari is still down despite the 100% pump, 99%. So they did 100x down and 100x up. I mean, okay. At this moment, like, I mean, look, from down here, they even did like a 400x or 350x if you caught it at the right time. So this spike in terms of the rest of how the chart has looked, this spike means basically nothing. It could just as easily tumble back down. In fact, I don't know if I personally wouldn't be buying this thing right here. Maybe they're finding a way to like put some liquidity, or I don't know, find some partners, or who knows. I wouldn't count on it though. This coin will Tari will bottom at some point, and it'll have some like nice prolonged upswing. But with this kind of stuff, you really can't tell. Like, you really have no idea unless you're an insider, or unless it's just coincident with, you know, a major liquidity injection in the macro sense, right? That they lower rates and they start the QE up, and they're doing all the QE because the market's crashed, you know, something like that. But okay, Ztrash currently sitting at 383. Wow, amazing. That's like the exact price that Monero is sitting at. Actually 375, I think. Let's see. I don't know what I think about this. I guess right now I would have to say, technically speaking, this chart is headed for the 523 level ish. That's where the top cluster is. So, or maybe 480, right? Somewhere in that zone. This chart's probably headed there. Again, guys, I'm going to keep saying this because I'm sure there's people that are like, don't understand the reality here. Ztrash is the distraction against Monero's market cap. This is the coin that they want to put a floor, they want to support, you know, and it is plausible. Maybe they did put a floor in, right? Like, let's go to the weekly. They spent a long time just languishing, you know, at the bottom here, which is kind of the same area of the bottom that had been down here. So it's possible that a lot of sell pressure ultimately got dumped here on, you know, on Zcash, like that most of the sell pressure went away. That's very possible. And so with that sell pressure gone, gave them the opportunity to actually pump the price, because there's no one else left to sell, right? Possibly speculating here, right? I'm being very speculative right now in the mechanisms. I just know that the cabal has their ways and means of supporting price and faking price, and the Zcash price is certainly faked. It is definitely not organically at this level, but that doesn't mean that it can't continue to maintain an inorganic price here. Even Bitcoin's price was manipulated from very early on, and it has no place really even being at the current price that it's at. It's definitely higher than whatever an organic market would have mandated for it. Should it be high? Yeah, it should still be high. I don't know exactly where that should be, but they front run everything, right? And so Zcash, it just seems to me like this is designed to be the distraction against Monero's market cap. I don't think it'll work. They just don't have the rep. They spent years being shitheads, and their rep is gone. So I don't think it'll work that well. But you know, it might actually even help Monero somewhat, because we get this sort of like proxy advertisement, because the people that find Zcash that haven't heard about Monero, that will eventually hear about Monero, right? That's basically how that will go. And yeah, okay, some plebs, you know, there will always be the plebs that will just kind of hear something and then buy it, right? Because they read Coin Market, or they read Coin Desk, or whatever the freaking whatever the latest propaganda rags are for crypto. Anyways, I guess Zcash up, guys. I don't know. Like, I still kind of feel sideways about the crypto markets, but they are feeling optimistic, and it does feel like there's like kind of higher targets for certain coins like Zcash, Monero, and you know, maybe some others out there. So potentially, you know, maybe potentially we could see some more upside here in crypto. I'd probably bias a little bit towards the upside, to be honest, overall for crypto. Maybe even Bitcoin. All right, let's go to the crypto markets. we're looking at dogs. Dog coins have pumped pretty good apparently, and Bitcoin has meandered on its way up. Mostly, this Z-score is recovering because of low volatility causes, and then like solid, like reasonably good upward movement amongst previously low volatility causes Z-scores to move. It's just how like the calculation is done. And Tron is still performing. Expect Tron to keep performing. It's all of the people in Russia and China, like they use Tron USDT. I don't know why exactly. Ethereum is currently cheaper, so like it really is cheaper right now to move Tether on Ethereum than it is to move it on Tron. But okay, somehow Justin Sun is just crushing it. Bcash sitting at the bottom. I don't know how Bcash is sitting at the bottom of everyone still, but they had a nice chart, and then their chart kind of went to shit. They looked like they were going to break out. It's almost kind of scummy. It almost feels like they were teasing us with this potential breakout of Bcash, only to wreck the chart afterwards. So, but you got to expect that. That's kind of how they operate. So it's a way to extract money. People think it's about to break out. They buy in. They buy your bags as you sell them, and then eventually there's no one left to buy, and the chart crashes. All right, Bitcoin. We kind of looked at Bitcoin already, but we'll look at it again. Yeah, I mean, this is so right here. This is a very like strong place. This upper standard deviation cluster, that is a good place to very prominent to have expected a kind of bottoming action there. And so this is kind of like these orange clusters are kind of starting to dissolve, so they're not the greatest, but they're there, like they do exist there. So we are seeing things at the moment. My only objection here is that there is this upper standard deviation cluster. It is the first time to hit it after the wipeout back in was that February? Yeah, back in February, January, February. So it is hard for me to think that this is the time for Bitcoin to just smash up. But also, guys, this is why you should have a HODL. Like, I could be wrong. Like, maybe this thing does smash up. So yeah, you should have a HODL stack, and that should be separate from your trading stack. And this way, even if you're wrong in a trade, you still can't lose, in a sense. Like, okay, you might lose some trades, but you're still, your larger HODL position is still on the correct side of the market. So just remember to like be responsible, and that's more important than being right. Money management, responsibility, that's going to get you farther than being a good trader. Maybe, I don't know, if you're like fucking 200 IQ and you just know what you're looking at, and you took the limitless pill, then sure, you could probably, don't listen to me, right? Only listen to people smarter than yourself. Usually, sometimes people dumber than yourself are experts because they spent so much time studying something that they know it really well, and you should listen to them even if they're not as smart as you. So, all right. Anyways, Bitcoin. What do you want me to say here? I guess it's gonna maybe do a little bit more up action, only to have a downturn afterwards. So, I don't know. What could we look at here? We could call Bitcoin for maybe like 3-4% to the upside, and then call it back down. So, probably drifting higher next week. But don't expect very much. Don't expect your mega pump. No mega gains there. The Bitcoin dominance has been actually doing pretty good. And I guess, again, this makes sense. Bitcoin is the supported, promoted coin by the fucking government. The government wants you to buy Bitcoin now, basically. I mean, they don't really, right? They don't really want you to buy Bitcoin, but they'd rather you buy Bitcoin than Monero or Ethereum. They'd rather you buy Bitcoin than anything else that could potentially, be useful for. You don't even really want to buy Ethereum. You just see it's more about the contracts that it could do. Whatever, that doesn't matter. But it does make sense. Bitcoin is the officially like BlackRock government corporate supported coin. It just is. So it makes sense that a lot of these shit coins ultimately have to die, that a lot of that money still has to flow back into Bitcoin. So I guess Bitcoin dominance probably, I guess maybe it can continue to perform. Maybe it's gone a little bit too far. Maybe a little bit of a pullback here could be in order. I could see that, right, as maybe the total market cap catches up. People, it sounds like people are starting to get a little bit excited that, hey, maybe this is it. Maybe that was the bottom. And then people will rebuy their shitcoins. So there could be, a little bit of swing into shitcoins here potentially. But if that happens, I think that'll just be an opportunity for the insiders and the founders to dump on the people buying, because that's, obviously that's what you do. That's why you found a coin typically. So that you can offload your bags that you got early, which, your pre-mined bags, whatever. Total market cap is also sitting at that upper standard deviation band here. In some ways, we're also just looking at the Bitcoin chart, right? 60%, basically, we're looking at the Bitcoin chart here. So this is also experiencing similar chart pattern, sure. Maybe we need to, you know what, let's look at total 2. Let's actually, I haven't looked at total 2 since forever. You know what, now that the dominance is so high, we actually do need to look at total 2. Let's save this. From now on, like his total is not really that useful to look at when it's so heavily correlated to Bitcoin. I think, is it 61%? Okay. Yeah, see, total 2 not looking nearly as good as Bitcoin, looking way flatter. We could just draw this, I guess, and maybe we're looking at, we could either draw something like, no, that's not the right way to draw it. It would be this. We're basically looking at a rising triangle. Rising triangle is a slightly better pattern than a rising wedge. So I guess, you know, and it looks like total 2 has spent a lot of time in this sort of like lower standard deviation range. So it does look like any bump out of this could actually send it higher. So that doesn't mean it has to do it though, right? It could just as easily break down from this and go lower. So I don't know, maybe more likely just more sideways chop, I guess. So total 2, there's total 2 for you. I don't think we care about the ratio in ETH BTC. Let's go to the macro. All right, so I guess we'll start with oil. Oil's like always in the news. Will they? Won't they? You know, are they gonna send their amazing supersonic whatever, blow your tits off shit and blow the tits off of I guess Khomeini's already dead, but whoever the next guy is that they got to blow up. Now, guys, I look at this oil chart and I say to myself, this looks like a chart that is starting to feel kind of constrained, range bound. There's a lot of erratic action here, so it's hard to draw like this right here. This is hard to use to draw. Like it's hard to use to draw any kind of pattern with that. We could like try and draw like a widening, you know, like a broadening, something down there. I don't even think, like, I'm not sure if that's the right way to draw that, to be honest. Like we could probably do this, you know. So maybe that's like a really fucked up bull flag. Let's go to the 4 hour. Yeah, actually, that might even work. That's a really fucked up bull flag potentially, or maybe this is the one we're supposed to use. See how pleb lines are just like so. But at any rate, guys, look, the way that this chart looks to me is that there's a peaky top and then a slightly lower, and again a slightly lower, and we've got these kind of like these spikes down. This looks like collapsing volatility. I shouldn't say collapsing because that sounds like it's, you know, happening quickly, which it's not. But this is volatility that's starting to a market that went crazy on the news that, oh, we're actually bombing Iran for real this time. It's not just like a little overnight operation. And then, oh, they actually closed the Straits of Hormuz, right? So it's over. And so they spike the oil, and then they make a deal, but then they're not really following the deal. But now we're in renegotiation. We're gonna bomb them again, so that should get them talking. Oh, fucking kidding me! It's theater, guys. It's just theater. I'm really more convinced now than ever that the whole Iran thing, I mean, it's got a dual purpose, right? There's 2 reasons. One, they really needed to get the price of oil higher, because like the petrodollar depends on it, and that's also, for whatever reason, that causes the markets to crash once it goes too low. But the other thing is that, like, the government, the United States military industrial complex does want to limit access to cheap energy resources to prevent second world nations from developing into first world nations, because that's so many resources. The world is just full of resources. And what do you need to develop them? You need energy. And if you have energy, you can generally develop all of those resources, and you don't need the corporate infrastructure apparatus, you know, the central banks, et cetera. You don't need all that bullshit in a lot of cases to develop your resources if energy is cheap. So it's a big reason why we see these games being played, these geopolitical games. Anyways, so coming back to the price of oil, what happened here is that, you know, this was peak uncertainty. And then now we're seeing like this constraining action. Now, who knows what they're going to do after this? You know, I think I said for a while that I was expecting shit to go to 150. The previous, you know, somewhere along the previous all-time high. Let's go back to the daily. Actually, we need to go to the weekly, maybe the monthly to see this. No, okay, here we go. Yeah, so we were saying we kind of expect at least to hit this this resistance here. I bet you that they've got something else cooking, that there probably is going to be some other spike here at some point. This chart, like what we've just examined on the short term, that's like technical analysis, and right now TA is like it's like the worst kind of, especially for oil. TA is probably the worst kind of analysis. So like any fundamental event can just destroy my little thesis here. But again, the problem is that if this is a bull flag, right, you could try and construct this as kind of like a bull flag, basically. Really, both either of these lines, whether this one or the other one. In fact, let's delete that one. This can be constructed as a bull flag, which would actually imply a higher price for oil at some point. So, is that going to happen? I don't know, but the TA does kind of paint a sort of collapsing volatility on a bull flag. So let's extend these lines and just do some like really dubious kind of speculation here on how things could play out. All right, so these lines go well into the future now. What would that be? August? Okay, so let's just say that things kind of do something like that, right? And then that. Then you could see oil actually finally starting to hit those target levels. And sure, maybe that could happen later on in the year. That could make a lot of sense, actually. In which case, if that does happen, then that actually makes sense. That would very well correspond to a pullback in the stock markets and a pullback in crypto and a bottom in crypto. And I know that there's the theory that they need the markets to be high for the midterms, whatever. I guess maybe, but it just to say that, like, we would have to say that because every president can try and do that. I don't know. It's also, here's another thing, like a lot of people pivoted to oil, right? So it's like people aren't just in stocks; they're in oil stocks, right? I mean, I know plenty of people actually that are in oil stocks right now. So it's not just quote unquote the stock market. It's not just quote unquote the Nasdaq. It's about which stocks in the Nasdaq, which stocks in the S&P or the Dow Jones Industrial. You could be seeing a lot of people getting rich, a big majority, of people that believe in America and want Trump and MAGA or whatever, that are all in oil stocks now, right? Because they believe in the cause against Iran, or just because they're seeing what's happening, right? So, anyways, I just say that the stock market matters probably less than people think for gains or for elections. It could be a factor. All right. Anyways, so that's oil, and you can see the dollar index has also kind of stabilized. It's interesting that you would have thought maybe the dollar index would have gone slightly higher on all of this, which it didn't. Like it kind of almost broke out, but then sort of came back down again. So I guess that's interesting. That speaks to the stability of currencies in general, and the dollar index in general. Right? They try to maintain a lot of stability there, and they tend to have a lot of stability. So I guess, the stable is good, right? Stable means number go up, especially for the stock market. Gold right now is in a bit of a precarious position. I worry about where gold is at right now. This should be, hypothetically, you would hope for this to be a support, right? So, if gold sort of starts coming back to the upside, I wouldn't expect too much for gold in the present moment. Maybe. But there's also this kind of danger with this chart right now that if gold ends up breaking down here, it's going to head for this spot. And that's really, let's go to the daily. And that's really not, that's not going to be great for the chart structure. And in reality, that looks like a top. Like if that's the case, if that action happens, things come back down here, that very much looks like a top, even if a rebound does manage to happen. And again, it's the war, it's the oil, right? The market cap moved out of gold, it moved into oil. And now the stock markets are doing so spectacularly well. People are like, well, why should I hold gold anymore? Look at how stocks are performing. Gold is languishing, oil is pumping, and oil might pump even further. There's a macro move happening here. So why should I hold gold? That's the goal. And we've talked about this for a long time. This is how they manage the gold price. They let that pressure valve release when there's no way to stop it. They get on the right side of that trade before that happens. You get this massive move up, and then you get some kind of big peak, some big spike, and then they push it sideways. They managed to find a way to push it sideways. In this case, it was pumping oil by inducing the Straits of Hormuz to be closed. And then they pump the stock market as gold goes sideways, and that's enough to then generate the psychology, the sociology required, right, the market sentiment required to get the masses to opt out of holding gold. So, that's just what they do. So I'm pretty concerned that that's actually the case here, and I worry about having large gold positions here. I feel like at this point, converting some of that gold into something else is probably fairly responsible. What is that? I guess that's about 20% off your like the total gains, you know, that you could have had. That's still not bad. All things considered, that's still a pretty good profit if you rode this thing up from, you know, 1,500 or something like that, 2,000. Like that's still pretty solid profit. So yeah, I would definitely encourage like probably moving into property or something like that, move into real estate. If you don't already have real estate, you know, diversify. That's the idea here. Okay, you know, but you know, maybe gold could still be okay if who knows. Again, the prices right now are just news cycle set. That's basically what's happening here. And these standard deviations, etc., they can only sort of serve us in the sense that we have to look at the news cycles and understand like what the general macro situation is. So, you know, all bets are off here. I know I kind of like haven't said if gold's going to go up or down. I don't know. I don't really have an opinion on that. I really hope that it's not over. And that feeling usually means that it's over. Usually like when you're like hoping like, please go up, come on, just give me one more pump, you know, just give me one more good one. And usually that feeling means it's over. You're not going to get that pump. That's usually what I found that sentiment means. So reflecting on my own emotional state live on air, that's kind of what I have to think about that. I have to like point that out. I guess someone was asking about, let's just use this one, XU USD. Oh no, he wanted QQQ. XU USD. I mean, we have, so that's the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ is a shorter timeline. I usually like to look at the S&P, but you know, okay, it's fine. What are we on, the monthly? Geez, let's go to the weekly, at least the weekly. So yeah, I mean, that is an interesting way to look at it. Putting the NASDAQ on top. So yeah, I mean, right now for a number of years, gold has actually significantly outperformed the NASDAQ. Right now, it looks like the NASDAQ has made a significant comeback. It could be hitting some resistances here, right? Some standard deviation resistances. Shout out to Rimsey for requesting this chart just now. Yeah, so it looks like there could still be more gains to be had here for a little bit as far as the ratio on NASDAQ versus gold. Maybe to the tune of how much percent? 4.5, maybe another 4.5, which is actually pretty big considering, you know, 4.5 is nothing for crypto. It's actually pretty big for stocks and gold. All right, moving on. Let's see if there's anything. Gold and silver ratio. Should we look at the gold silver ratio? No, that's that's gold to pesos. I guess I don't have it pulled up. Let's just do it right here.
We do have Tony when you're done, buddy.
Oh, is he ready?
Yeah, he said he's ready.
Okay, then let me get off here. I don't think there's anything else really to talk about. I'm just kind of searching. Let's do like two minutes and then I'll take off. The only other thing to say here is that the stock markets they pumped. They're at new all-time highs. In fact, they gapped up. Look for stocks to actually come back down on Monday or Tuesday, and then to probably start going up again. Let's see, nothing here on that. Bonds,
for now,
nothing.
For
nothing
now,
happened.
we can still talk about the Epstein files because the Dow's still not above 50,000.
All right. Well, let me get off, bro. Let me finish here, and then I'll get off so that Tony can come up. All right. Nothing with bonds, and then the hash rate is slightly going down, and then the transactions kind of have this like seesaw pattern. I guess they always have a seesaw pattern, but still doing pretty good. Sitting, actually, it looks like still averaging around 25,000. So, all right. That's all I have for you guys. Let's let Tony come take it away.
The Monerotopia guest segment is sponsored by Cake Wallet. Store, send, receive, and exchange your Monero and Bitcoin safely on iOS and Android too. Cake Wallet is open source, and you always control your own keys.
Alrighty, we got Tony.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Tony, what's up, man?
Good, doing good. How are you guys?
Long time no Tony.
Yeah, right.
I
Feels like a
know.
long time.
I know. I'm sorry, guys. It's been like so difficult with work because it's been so busy, and then I have to like leave work for now on Saturdays, but it's all good. We got some big stuff for this segment. So if you guys, I was thinking of doing news, like just going
Yeah.
over it, like 15, 20 minutes.
Okay.
And then we'll do the guest segment. But I do have a special guest that you guys don't know. So I'll give him the link and he'll hop on with me to talk about Tuesday, about consensus.
Oh,
so really exciting.
Beautiful. Yeah, so do the news first then. Yeah, and then we'll do that as a separate segment. Awesome, brother. Yeah, good to have you. Excited for you repping Monerotopia and everybody down at the event. You'll tell us all about it. Actually, I had an idea, and I guess we'll bring it up during the segment, but I was thinking maybe we could stream the event if they're interested in that. So we could stream it on the Monerotopia Monero Talk channel if they want to put the talks out there, right?
Yeah, that'll be huge. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of content around. Like my talk is going to be less technical. It's just around more philosophical,
like Monero 101 type. Yeah.
Just like because I'm going to have like 15, 20 minutes, and then just to grab people's attention about why financial privacy is important, why you shouldn't think that having it makes you a criminal. And then slowly getting into like, if you think that's pretty off, like what's happening today, and then the 1984 on steroids that's going to be like tomorrow, then let's take a look at Monero and let's look at the history a little bit. And I'll show you guys kind of like.
Yeah. But yeah, take it away with news. Plenty. I sent you a bunch of news links. I don't know if you have some of your own.
So we got a lot. Yeah, a lot of good stuff.
Yes. It just seems like every day there's like a new headline about the surveillance state growing, right? It's just like crazy things. Like now they want to control how you drive your car. They'll be scanning your face and everything. And like they're implementing this. It's like happening in Europe. It's going to be happening here in the US. They're going to mandate these things.
We still have to play the news segment, by the way. Justice played the guest segment, so we still need to play the news bit.
Oh, okay. Let's play the news.
Okay.
The Monerotopia Weekly News segment is sponsored by WizardSwap.io, a non-custodial cryptocurrency exchange.
All right, we'll add Tony's screen, and
Now
then we'll
we
play
can-
guest segment again
Now
later.
we can be depressed.
Yes,
'Cause that's all the news is.
Pretty much, yeah. Like some stuff are exciting, but actually, so somebody came up to Monerotopia and he's like, "Man, the show is awesome. Thank you for all you guys do." And I was like, "Yeah." And then he said, "But I don't watch a news segment." And I was like, "Why?" And he said, "Because it's very depressing." And I was like, "Yeah, that's true." I mean, literally by the end of the news section, I'm like, just sitting down for like 2 minutes and processing the whole thing because it's coming and it's scary. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, but the promising part is we got Monero, right? We're building a Monerotopia.
Yes.
You have people trying to live off Monero and XMR Bazaar. We're making progress despite all of the progress that they're making in the other direction. I'm definitely hopeful given Monero's state.
Yeah, and that's why I think it's important for people to come to events like Monerotopia, MoneroCon, or just, if you have an event nearby you about these things, just go, because sometimes it can feel a bit isolating and maybe you can feel overwhelmed about these things that are happening in your country. Like in the UK, you tweet something or something on social media about some politician and you can literally go to jail. So definitely going to these events and seeing other people fight this fight as well is going to help. But yeah, so let's get into the news section, guys. A lot of exciting and mix of depressing, like always. But this is something good. So LibreGuide is live, and essentially LibreGuide is a new guide for independent media. So if we go on it, and let me just make sure. Can you guys see? LibreGuide right now? You guys can let me know in the. Yeah, you can. I think you can. Yeah. Okay. So LibreGuide, basically, you can select your language, English or French. We can see it. Okay. Thanks, Kan Wonk. Gotta love the dubstep intros into segments. Hey, gotta make sure people are awake and pumped for more. So yeah, you can select your language, French or English, and then you can select what independent media you want to listen to, whether it's Daniel Davis. I've never heard of him before, but maybe you want to look into his stuff. So it's pretty cool resource, and they do accept Monero. So they accept Stripe or Monero, no other crypto. And we chose Monero because its philosophy aligns with ours. So that's pretty sick. And they're using Monero Pay for their integration. So that's pretty cool. So check them out if you're interested to support them, or if you want to learn about new independent medias that you can listen to in your free time. And so ultimately, you don't want Monero, but you need Monero, or you need something about Monero. Tether conducts largest asset freeze ever, freezing 344 million on Tron, $1 million. That's a lot of money that they can just freeze, whereas you cannot do that in Monero. You can just freeze somebody's money. So you don't want Monero, but you need it. Or I don't even like. I don't care if it's Monero or like whatever does the job. That's what I care. I think it's very important for us to not get maximalist over concepts or things, because that's hurting us in the end. But Monero right now, it's a freaking beast, and you can trust it with your life. That is gonna give you privacy, and it's gonna get better and better. We do have an FCMP++ news coming up in a second, but yeah, Monero is holding up good. We're rank 14, as you can see right here. And Monerica, which is an awesome project, by the way, you should check out Monerica. They have a directory if you go on the website, and you can see all the Monero circular economies, places you can, I think, find jobs and just buy stuff. So definitely check it out.
One thing about Monerica there, Tony, I don't know if people have seen it, but if you want, you can also now write reviews on Monerica, and all you need is a PGP key.
Not sick. That's cool.
Yeah, so actually, if you look at services on Monerica now, you can see people were writing reviews.
Yeah. Wow, I haven't. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so there we go. You can, and you have so many things right here, right? You can look for mining specific, media, jobs, freelancing, finance, and now it all says reviews. So you can check what's a good service for you, and not just going blind. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so it's an awesome project. But yeah, so we're holding up pretty good. Monero is on the 14th, and then Zcash is right behind. It's insane how Dogecoin is number 9, and then Shiba is like close. Jesus, World Liberty Financial. That's crazy. So much money in those things. Money that could have been in Monero, but so Kan Wong said on the Freedom Dollar website, if you view the FUSD versus USDT tab, it shows how much Tether is frozen on both ETH and Tron. Oh, that's cool. Thank you, man. That's pretty cool. I mean, not cool that it happened, but interesting that he can see it. Canada is looking into banning crypto ATMs, and I love what CoinCards wrote about this. And by the way, if you can get you can spend your crypto using Cake Wallet, you can go to CoinCards and get your gift cards, and you can actually spend your crypto of choice, Monero or Bitcoin. But they said scams don't come from machines. Like the machines do not create the scams, right? They existed long before this, and that doesn't stop criminals. They'll just adapt. Banning and removing choice doesn't help. It isn't education. It doesn't fix lack of awareness. But Big Brother says, don't worry, we'll make your choices for you, and it's all for your protection and safety. And I love it, because that's what's happening with everything, from the news about car that we're gonna go into, about them not you trusting driving your own car and putting all these measures of, don't worry, we'll protect you. You just won't have any privacy, and that's in the name of what? Protection. And do they spend money or focus on education? Like, do they go on the TVs to tell you that you should maybe read more books and spend less time scrolling on TikTok? They don't, and then they don't care. So it's ridiculous. They just ban stuff, put rules on, and yeah. We'll get to videos at the end. I'm gonna skip on this for a second, but now let's go into something less depressing. I guess we'll do a mix. So true Monero adoption is adoption at the root, food production and farms. So if you go on XMR Bazaar, you have this person that offers soil data collection services. So this person provides professional agricultural data collection services in central Iowa and surrounding areas. And services include soil sampling, RTK boundary mapping, high accuracy field mapping, plant tissue sampling, all these specifics that farmers know of. So, and you can pay in Monero. You can check it out right here. If we go into the link, and yeah, so and then that's pretty cool. So you have the trust rating as well, which currently says caution. So when you look into this stuff, always treat with caution. But that's pretty sick. That's pretty cool. And XMR Bazaar, if you don't know, if you're new to this, it's an amazing resource of getting just buying foods from different countries or electronics or just so many services. So in case you don't know about XMR Bazaar, you should definitely check it out. So I'm gonna exit this for right now. Okay, videos will play at the end. Some more from CoinCards. So they wrote on X, we're CoinCards, helping people actually live on Bitcoin for 13 plus years through gift cards. We don't believe in government oppression. We believe in freedom, sovereignty, and real utility. We're one of Bitcoin's most underrated services, and we're fine keeping it that way. Our customers are the real ones. If you like freedom and Bitcoin, give us a follow. Yeah, CoinCards, they're an awesome company. And let's see. Monero, I think Monero is at the top of what people use to buy their gift cards. Probably gonna have to scroll a little bit. I mean, it's the beginning of May, so they should post their stats pretty soon. But for March 12th, yeah, usually okay. So Bitcoin was 37%, 38% of the transactions, and then 26%. But sometimes it flips. In January, Monero was first, 37%. So we're gonna talk about who's dominating as soon as we get the stats. But it's a constant battle between Bitcoin and Monero, which is awesome. People are using their crypto to actually buy stuff. So XMR.PW, XMR is the way. With little effort, it's possible to live off Monero right now, and it's amazing no other crypto can do this. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And especially with Monerica and XMR Bazaar and CoinCards and all these things, you can get Monero and you can spend it as well. So you can have a pretty low online profile, which is pretty cool. Now, Greece, we all love Greece. I love going to Greece. I've been many times, but Greece is moving towards a total ban on anonymous accounts on social media. Of course, this is to protect you. Like what? Every post, every reply tied to a verified legal identity. Greece's digital governance minister, Dimitris Papastergiou, I probably didn't pronounce it correctly, but he confirmed today that the plan is meant to fight toxicity, hoaxes, and character assassinations. Mr. Dimitris says modern digital democracy should be inspired by ancient Greece, where citizens openly express their views. But I don't think ancient Greece had all this crazy surveillance. God, it's insane how many countries are starting to do this. And
I saw a reply on Noster that perfectly summed this up, and it's like, didn't ancient Greece also kill Socrates for his opinion?
I forget, but that's pretty funny. Yeah. It's just since the beginning of history, people wanted to rule over other people, and it doesn't seem to stop today. But yeah, all these things. Let's see if we can get to the car. I'll try and skip to the car post if I can find it, because it'll be a good segue. Yeah, this one. So tying into that, coming from EU as well, EU to require driver monitoring cameras in all new cars from July. This is from Europa.com. I really hope this is a joke. I really hope so. But I like what Off Guardian wrote about this. So first leak is successful. Insurance claims goodbye. Any accident will be blamed on suboptimal driver performance, right? And that time your hands moved briefly from 10 and 2, or your eye line wasn't correctly picked up by the mirror sensor, will be used to blame your fender bender on you. If you looked on your phone for a little bit, or you're just looking out the mirror, enjoying the view, and something happened, you're going to be blamed. And then this is a massive point. So they will make a point that people drive dangerously. Like 80% of us might be driving more recklessly than we think, or they're gonna have crazy stats like, I don't know, 80% of the people spend 30% of the time looking on their phones and all this stuff to, wow, like it's so dangerous. And I mean, driving can be dangerous. You should look on the road, of course. Please don't look on your phone. But this is for what? To protect you? Like, it's just going to try to push to collect more data on your behavior, right? You go on Instagram, they have your behavior of what you like to look into and what you like to, unquote, educate yourself with. Sometimes people just watch dumb stuff all day and that's what the algo gives them. But yeah, this is just massive data collection from every single point of life that they can get it through, and then to essentially use it against you. Then maybe, of course, they can, with this, they can probably stop your car. They can revoke your license, like Off Guardian said right here. They can do a lot of stuff. Essentially push autonomous driving cars, which is cool. It's cool. You can just get some work done and the car drives by itself. All these things are interesting, but not when they can be used against you. Like, I don't know, you'd say you like Monero, and then that's going to be a massive, probably, crime in the future. So, boom, your car is stopped on the side of the road. You can't drive it anymore. You've been identified. Authorities come, and off you go. And then we have FISA 702 just passed the House. So this bill lets the government search Americans' private communications without a warrant, in direct violation of the Fourth Amendment. Again, crazy stuff. And then just it takes me to when when the UK asked Apple to get a backdoor to their systems, and Apple could have backed down on providing services to the UK, but instead they gave them a backdoor into their systems for the UK. So what if everybody wants it now? What if every country wants a backdoor into Apple? They're just gonna do it. Crazy stuff. However, on the positive side, Monero's FCMP++ audits integration have started in the Monero code base. So that's positive stuff, massive project. So Monero is just getting stronger, which is awesome. I'm gonna get back to the videos because they are good. And some positive stuff. Let's go over some positive stuff again. Wrapping up an amazing week at Bitcoin Vegas. This is from Cake Wallet. They went to Bitcoin Vegas, huge conference. And we had the chance to speak on panels, join interviews and podcasts, and connect with so many of you in person. We also hosted a Bitcoin giveaway, handed out more t-shirts than we can count. And yes, there even was a Cake Wallet cake. So, and they're especially honored to bring home 2 Satos awards, including the #1 Bitcoin Wallet of the Year and Top Privacy Wallet, a true testament to the hard work of our team and the loyalty of our community. And Cake Wallet has an amazing team. I met a lot of them at Monerotopia. I met Tux for the first time, part of the Cake Wallet team. So that was awesome. And yeah, they're good people. So this is pretty sick. I'm still trying to get a cake hoodie or a cake t-shirt. I tried at Monerotopia. I didn't get one, but I will. Actually, Tux found one, but somebody local really wanted it or something like that, and I was like, I just give it to him. He'll be very happy. So it's okay. I'll get one next time. And then I don't know. I haven't caught up on the Wagyu situation. I haven't been on X much, so but here's a post on this. Sam Bent wrote, bookmark this, and if you see a Monero shield sponsored by Wagyu in the wild, please drop a screenshot here. I saw something with Fluffy Pony and Wagyu, but I haven't had time to look into this. Now going back to this, and then we'll have the videos. A really important point. So, and this is about non-custodial devs. So a really important point I somehow missed to bring up Todd Blanche's Vegas comments on developer protections is that he effectively announced that all non-custodial developers must KYC their users. Why? Because there's no other way to ensure that a criminal using your software can be identified by law enforcement. And so while no legal basis exists to mandate the implementation of KYC or KYC Lite, email, etc. for non-custodial devs, and FinCEN guidance clearly exempted non-custodial software from being classified as an MSB, which would mandate KYC, to the extent that in both the Tornado Cash and Samurai Wallet cases, the theory that their software was an MSB had to be dropped. DOJ argues that Roman Storm should have implemented a user registry to identify the people using his service, just basically more on the Roman Storm Samurai situation. Yeah, just sad. Yeah, it's sad stuff. But I think okay. Also, the U.S. Treasury Secretary Baston says the U.S. has seized 450 million in Iranian cryptocurrency, and the U.S. is targeting Iran's access to crypto. So how long until Iran starts using Monero or looking into it? I bet they know about it, and who knows? Maybe they're starting to use it right now. But okay, so now going back to the videos, we'll play this one. So this one is from, I haven't seen this guy in a long time, Charles Hoskin from Cardano, and a little bit about privacy and Monero. So let's watch a bit of this.
No audio, Tony.
Oh no, wait. Maybe. If I do it again, would you be able to, if somebody available to put my screen share up again?
Justice or Doug, are you guys there?
Oh, because if not, we're gonna have to skip on the videos, which is okay. I can just kind of.
Yeah, I guess not. I guess neither of
No.
them are.
Yeah, it's okay. All right, guys. So I'm just gonna kind of.
No, look, wait, yeah, I'm here. But what do you need me to do? You want me to play the video?
I have to cancel my. Okay, so I'll cancel my share screen.
Yeah, but it's a good video.
Yeah,
I think
they're
it's
good stuff. Allowed to share.
We got Joe Rogan riffing on privacy is a good one, and then yeah, this is Charles Hoskinson talking up Monero.
Share screen. Okay, let me try. I'm gonna try to share the whole screen.
Share the whole screen. Okay.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna do a test. Let me guys know if you guys can hear it.
No.
No? Ah. I don't know why. Can you share for me?
You want me to play it? I gotta get the link.
Oh, I'll give it to you. Give me 1 second. I'll put them right here. Which one?
Where?
Isn't technology fun?
I know, right? I have the links because I sent them to you.
I put them in private chat in StreamYard. If that helps.
All right, yeah. All right, so let me bring up this one.
Okay, there we go. Yep, that's all of them.
Hold on 1 second.
Yep. Actually, no, on this one too. This one as well.
All right. Well, here we go. Here's the clip of Charles. Was it Hodgkins? How do you say his name? Charles, right?
Hodgkinson.
Hodgkinson. The creator of Cardano. Here he is commenting.
Midnight.
Monero.
Okay, there's been conversations. I've been a part of them. People like Monero.
Midnight is their privacy implementation on Cardano, but here's his take on Monero.
You mentioned it earlier. Monero, Midnight. You don't see this as competition. If anything, this is healthy competition, right? This is not, oh, we're going to destroy Monero and we're going to destroy Zcash. And I don't see you doing that. I see you're more of a guy who wants to participate within the ecosystem than go ahead and, cause chaos within it.
Yeah, honestly speaking, Monero is what Bitcoin should have been. They just didn't have the technology at the time, and it's a lot more complicated around a privacy preserving system. But there's a lot to love in Monero, like the ASIC resistant puzzles, the full chain membership proofs, how they handle the view keys. These are smart things, and they were a pioneer in ring signatures, and they've been a pioneer in a lot of privacy at scale. Because the thing about privacy is it's built usually by cryptographers, and cryptographers are super weird, paranoid people living in basements with no friends. And the reason they became a cryptographer is they think everybody's out to get them. So if you're like a paranoid schizophrenic and you're looking for a career, cryptography is for you. Okay, you are going to.
This is a commercial to get people into crypto right now.
Right. You can either be in an asylum or you can be a cryptographer. So if you build a product as a cryptographer, usually it's like horrible product. It's not usable. It's super paranoid. You have to do all this stuff. What the Monero community did, and they pioneered, was figuring out how to make it more usable, but they never violated once their cypherpunk ethos. So you still mine it, and there's still that like decentralized mindset and all these other things. You need people like that in the space to be part of that conversation and to be uncompromising in that conversation. And what you want to do is you bring them together like a Justice League, and some people are Aquaman, and they're doing stuff with dolphins, and other people, they're Superman and Batman and these things and Wonder Woman. But everybody's welcome in the Justice League. You have that. So there's a Justice League of privacy, and Monero is definitely part of that Justice League, and they've always had an important role, which should never be discounted.
All I want to know is, what is this guy doing with dolphins? Somebody check his computer.
That is a good question.
He really went off the rails a little bit for a second.
I love how he's like, if you're an antisocial introvert who lives in your basement, become a cryptographer.
Who likes playing with dolphins?
The background, that was the blackboard behind with all the formulas and all the stuff.
Yeah, right. I don't really know much about their privacy implementation. Anybody know about it? I was trying maybe even with Monerotopia to get them participate at one point. The midnight.
Is that link can we get can we drop that? I know all the links are somewhere, but that link in particular, I need it. Because reasons.
But yeah, good to see Charles giving Monero some respect. It'd be absurd if he didn't. Part of the Justice League. Come on, I mean, Monero is. I don't know. Monero's what? Monero's Batman.
Bawdy, I would assume that the link is also on the Signal group with us, so you might be able to find it there.
We are the most significant part of the Justice League. Should I play the next one, Tony? Should I keep going, or you got?
Yeah.
All right. So here we got.
Good job.
We have Trump.
An architect who's really talented. He's done a lot of work for him. He's got a flair, a beautiful Hispanic flair in particular. And he comes from originally a place called Cuba, which we will be taking over almost immediately. No, Cuba's got problems. We'll finish one first. I like to finish a job. On the way back from Iran, we'll have one of our maybe the USS Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier, the biggest in the world. We'll have that come in, stop about 100 yards offshore, and they'll say, "Thank you very much. We give up."
Is that a comedy
I love that
show?
it's like a comedy hour, right? I feel like, is that a comedy club?
We'll
just take Cuba. Yeah, so I'm not surprised at all, right? We saw this coming. I wouldn't be surprised if it happens before the war with Iran finishes, just to kind of take our attention off of it. Look, Cuba. So that'll be happening coming one Saturday morning. I'm sure we're gonna wake up, maybe a Sunday.
Oh, could be tomorrow. For all I know.
Tomorrow.
Wow.
Next story we got Joe Rogan.
He's kind of
really
gone.
understanding the need.
I think it's going to be super gone with these quantum computers. He's kind of gone, and I think it's going to be super gone with these quantum computers. It's over. Mm-hmm. There's no privacy, and I think the real problem is the financial market. It's all numbers. right? It's all just ones and zeros.
Yeah.
If somebody controls that before we do, if somebody breaks through with this type of technology and then just shuts all the other ones off, like how many?
Bitcoin to the rescue, maybe?
I don't even know. Doesn't Bitcoin get compromised? Google says its breakthrough quantum chip can't break modern cryptography. Sure, like they said it like this. No, we can't even. We can't even break any of your codes. The Willow chip is not capable of breaking modern cryptography. Well, listen. I don't believe that, first of all. And second of all, my real concern is this is one step in this. We are about to go off of a technological cliff. This is one step. ChatGPT was one step. They're about to do ChatGPT 5, which is magnitudes greater power than ChatGPT. It's supposed to be like a giant leap. Okay, and that ain't shit. That ain't shit compared to AGI, which they think 2025. So artificial general intelligence, and then connected to a quantum computer. And Google is literally talking about they have plans to put their own nuclear power plants to power their AI systems. It needs so much power. They want 3 nuclear power plants.
That's wild.
What are you about to do? Like, what are you doing, you fucking eggheads? What are you doing? Are you guys making God? Like, what the fuck are you doing? Do you?
So, yeah, Joe Rogan understands the importance of privacy. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Is that an old clip? Is that a new clip?
He's been getting, have you seen the one with Theo Von? He's been getting a little bit, at least there, he was kind of suspicious. Have you
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I remember when Andreas Antonopoulos went on Joe Rogan back in the day for the early days of Bitcoin. That was like, I don't know, was that 2014, 2015? So will it be the Monero moment on Joe Rogan? Or the Zcash moment? Brace for it, guys. We might see a Zuko up there before we see a Monero bro. Who would be the best Monero bro to go represent? I don't know.
I give my vote to Alaska.
Oh, to Alaska, that would be pretty wild.
Alaska,
that would Rogan.
Joe Rogan. Oh my god.
Oh man, but that would go off on too many tangents. I don't know. I don't know if I love Alaska, but I don't know. He might go off on too many tangents.
Maybe Bawdy.
Bawdy would be precise. He would get it. He would get everything out there in a very eloquent way. I would do a decent job, but on the tech side of things.
Yeah, my votes would either go for Alaska or Bawdy. Alaska and Rogan would be hilarious together, but and Bawdy would get the point across. So either one of them is what I would say.
Yeah.
Or both. Maybe a duo. And that's gonna be Joe's face once he learns about how good Monero is.
Hit us up, Rogan.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Fluffy. If we get Fluffy Pony, we're gonna bring him out. Let Fluffy rep Monero on Rogan. I don't know. All right, yeah, I think that was all the videos. Oh no, wait, I have one more over here. One more video.
Somebody said, I think Body's profanity will get him in trouble on Rogan. No.
So yeah, here's our last video. Wait, do I get it up? Yep. Of the day. So this was at the event where they're presenting this anti-surveillance bill. I think we spoke about this on the last show. And Lauren Boebert was part of it with Thomas Massey. So let's go ahead. And Naomi Brockwell. Actually, so I think she might be coming on the show not this coming week, but the following week. Because this week I'm trying to get Justin Berman on to talk about full chain membership proofs. He said he's finally ready to talk because of the progress we made. We're like right at the finish line of full chain membership proofs. So he's going to come on this week. And then I think we'll get Naomi next week.
Oh, you're going to have Naomi? Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
I interviewed her many years ago live at Anarchopoca. It was like I think it was 2020. It was 2020, right before COVID hit. It was in like February. But I think I think I annoyed her a little bit because I was very pushy with the Monero. She wasn't too Monero pilled back then. Even now, she's obviously she tries to be agnostic to the technology, right? And she's just for freedom tech. And I do think she does a very good job at getting the word out. I mean, here she is. Basically, she put this bill. I believe she was the one that put this bill together that they're proposing. And she got some of the most based people in Congress to support it. The Surveillance Accountability Act. But let's hear what Congresswoman Lauren Boebert had to say.
They're scanning our faces in public places, at protests, even at our children's schools. The government is building secret databases they can go through anytime that they feel like it. They're blanketing our neighborhoods with flock cameras, and every single one of you should be saying, "What the flock?" I mean, this is an absolute egregious reach on our Fourth Amendment rights. They're creating a digital footprint of your entire life without a single warrant or even probable cause. Your morning commute to work, it's tracked. Dropping off your kids at their soccer practice, that's logged. Visiting a church or a gun range, recorded forever in a government accessible database.
Yeah, so everybody's waking up to it, guys. It's going mainstream. Obviously, these are not the mainstream candidates in Congress, but it's the beginning. People are waking up to this idea that we are being completely surveilled, and it's growing day by day. It's compounding. These flock cameras everywhere. She's right. I mean, anywhere you go, especially here in the tri-state area, they're tracking your license plate. They know who you are, wherever you are, pretty much at all hours of the day when you're driving around, wherever you go. We're talking about what they want to implement in vehicles, where your face and everything will be scanned in real time to determine if you're fit to drive or whatever it may be. Drones coming to a city near you, right? I mean, it's not going to be long before you see the drones out there monitoring, policing, showing up at the scene of an accident. It's gonna come really fast. It's gonna come really fast. So yeah, man, that's why we Monero. But yeah, maybe we get Naomi on not this week, but the following week. Would be awesome to have her. Exciting to see that she did make this progress. I doubt this bill goes anywhere. I mean, I can't imagine they actually make progress with this. Just because most Congress people aren't incentivized to care about these things. But good for them for trying. That's all I got for video links. Tony, you have more news? Or that was it?
No, that was it. But what's coming next is just so exciting.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. Let's run the guest segment. And do you have somebody you said you want to bring up with you?
Yeah. You'll
see. Are they there? We got them backstage?
I think he should be. You guys see anybody backstage? Or he should be.
We see XMR guy.
Okay, let me ask him.
Obviously, we have Justice.
So run the segment, and as I'm going to...
The Monerotopia guest segment is sponsored by Cake Wallet. Store, send, receive, and exchange your Monero and Bitcoin safely on iOS and Android too. Cake Wallet is open source, and you always control your own keys.
All right. Oh, we got Webwipe. Okay.
Yep.
Can you guys hear me?
What's up, brother?
We can.
Hey. Nice. Glad we got this to work. This is actually very simple. I was like, how is this gonna... I'm gonna have to configure my settings. Yeah. Nice. Great. Yeah, listen, I was listening along. I appreciate it. Yeah, sorry, before I hop in, how's everything going?
Good, man. I wanted to say thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you for the whole side event and consensus. First, like I thought it's gonna be a smaller thing, but then the more I looked into it, I was like, holy shit, this is pretty big for us.
Yeah, this I mean, it got out of hand quickly. So
That's a good thing.
Yeah, for sure. It worked out. We ended up getting listed on consensus, like on their side events page, which definitely helped. And then
okay.
also Miami picked it up. I had to actually take us off there because we don't have enough space in the venue but we broke 350 people.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I mean, it worked out. Also, I was just able to reach out to
what did they have it on for Miami when you said
on Luma?
Oh, okay.
So I guess people that are looking for. I mean, also this weekend is also F1. So F1 is happening. So a bunch of people are downtown, and then people that I guess are extending and staying longer for consensus. Consensus happens in the middle of the week, from the 5th to the 7th, so Tuesday to Thursday. So I'm not sure. I feel like consensus always does that they do the middle of the week, but I don't think it's been in Miami. I don't know if it's ever been in Miami, but it was. I think it was just previously in Austin.
Okay.
But yeah, so while that was happening, I was like, so I'm traveling down anyway. I was going to be down there anyway. So I said, you know what, let's get this set up. So whenever we are traveling around, we try and do events or meetups. And I take influence very much from, Doug, what you've done with Monerotopia. And I just like the idea of doing these satellite events, bringing people together that are building these projects or these teams that are building these tools, and try and reach out to the local community. And once again, just like what Tony was saying, that he met a bunch of people at Monerotopia. It's just nice to have these conversations with people. And it's only a single, we're not doing a 3-day or 4-day event. We're just, just a few hours, but it's nice to bring people together that are like either looking for these tools, don't know about these tools, or they're building. So
keeps the momentum going, and then you're doing it alongside consensus. You have all these crypto people that are down there, and people are waking up to privacy coins, like we're saying, right? So there's interest. The first Monerotopia, as you know, was alongside the Miami Bitcoin conference.
Yes. And that was great, and it was just a few blocks away, so you could literally pop in to one of the events or the other, and your location was great. While I was looking for, I'm not local to the area, so while I was looking for venues, I also didn't want to be directly in. I think the main conference venue is in Miami Beach, and I did not want to be over there really. And so I was like, let me look for somewhere where it's a little more low key, but you can have time, like you don't have to step outside and have loud music blaring. And so we ended up picking the brewery, and the breweries tend to be pretty good for the venues.
Where's the brewery relative to Miami Beach?
With no traffic, it's 15 minutes. It's in Coral Gables, so it's northwest of Miami Beach.
So that's next to where we had that last conference, right? That we were all hanging out.
That was I feel like that was.
Is that Coral Gables or no?
No, that was I cannot remember. That was like north of down of Midtown. It was like maybe a 10-minute drive north of Midtown, but so we're like west of that. So, but Coral Gables is like a much lower key spot, but with the venue, with the brewery, and it's right near Coconut Grove, and Coconut Grove has also like a nice little neighborhood where people go and they got coffee shops and whatnot. So we picked this brewery just because at first I wasn't sure the size, and we were just like, okay, we can just get a small room, but then it quickly like expanded. And so but then also reaching out, a few people wanted to get involved, and I had some very good people that wanted to go and help sponsor. And so Firo is sponsoring, so we were able to rent out the whole venue. So Ruben with Firo has been like super helpful. I've been picking his brain. So a few of the, so then so I guess I can drop who else is coming to speak. Everything is on the Luma. I don't know if I drop it in the chat here, will it?
So if you want, if somebody can share my screen, and then I can kind of share these things as Webwipe is talking about them.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, because I have Luma, and then I have your website pulled up too for more.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. And the Luma, I just keep, that's more or less like the perfect area to just refer to for any kind of updates. I try and keep that updated, but also with the Luma, I just leave it out there. You know, you don't need to really sign up. And I know a lot of privacy people just don't want to put their info in. So it's just more or less just info that people can refer to. Like I said, I also don't expect that.
Tony, you have it up right now? Because I always see a black screen.
Ooh.
You have are you sharing something?
Yeah, give me one. Or you want to share yours, Webwipe? Up to you. If not, I can do it for you.
Yeah, I just don't know if I'm configured.
Okay.
What my setup
No
looks like.
worries. All right. Share window should be this one. Okay.
Yeah. Here you go.
Okay, it should be good.
Amazing. Yeah. So, we've got for speakers Sally Mayweather, which I was able to actually speak with down at Monerotopia. So, Doug, once again coming together.
Awesome.
So he'll be speaking.
Sal's
Sal is a good dude. Then Shirley Valgi from Logos Network. I don't know. There's a few Logos people that I've met. I think Sterling was. Though I don't know if he's going to be around, but she's going to be speaking on the topic of Logos, the future of freedom. They just did an event also in Portugal, and it was like another. It was like a nice setup that they did. It seemed like Monerotopia vibes. Just like a good group of privacy folks coming together. And they've got like a whole like network stack. They're building communication stack, which I think they're all bringing under the Logos banner. So she'll be able to speak about that. We've got Tony. He gave a little overview of what he's going to be speaking about. It'll be exciting. I also, there's a few topics that I want to hit on, but also I can always pass over to Tony. Like I do want to do a demo of XMR Bazaar, or I might just do a non-Bazaar just with showing the Firo payments.
Firo on there.
Yeah, exactly. And, but I think it's just such a good tool just for people to be interested in. The crowd that are coming, this is just it's a wide variety of people, across the spectrum. So I don't know if the people that are, complete noobs to the privacy ecosystem, but also people that there are privacy projects that are that are coming and participating. So it'll be a nice wide spectrum. So we can speak to all these different takes, and then also
I'm very tempted, man, to jump on a plane and come down there and just hang out with you guys, and not to deal with you guys run the. I won't have to just be an attendee, just hang out. I am very tempted.
Well, I'm glad that pull, that gravitational pull,
you guys
is real.
It's coming together nicely.
And then Ryan Lackey of Evertas, he's a very smart dude, and he's the CSO at Evertas. Evertas, I believe they're a crypto insurance company, but they're actually legit. I've met many crypto insurance companies over the years, and they sort of come and go. But seeing Ryan's also, I believe he was very much involved in the Cyberpunk mailing list. I feel like I might be wrong, but I feel like he's been around for a while. So he's giving a talk, government regulation, do they help or hurt privacy? So I want to see where he goes with that. And then we just got Harry Halpin of NIM. So he's going to come and speak. And so along with that, so he just wrote a, I don't know if you guys saw the Palantir Manifesto. I don't know if that came across your news section, but he just went more or less viral with the anti-Palantir Manifesto. So the Palantir Manifesto was 20 points from Alex Karp that he more or less stated, why exactly, why the Palantir future is something that we need. And so Harry came back with the anti-Palantir Manifesto, which, like I said, went viral. And it was just a good bunch of bullet points. I think you guys were sort of talking about the news section, how it's always very, it's like blackpilling. But what I think, I mean, you guys get it, but it's like, it's important to obviously get this news out there. And I think another important thing is, and I bring this up with Harry, because I think Harry, he studied philosophy, and he's like a very good person to take like the philosophical perspective from privacy. And so
Definitely.
Yeah, it's just nice to hear these kinds of takes where it's just like, okay, it's not just like, oh, privacy is being encroached upon, this is bad. It's good to have like the moral backing of why exactly, of course, like, we get the point. We understand why, individuals should seek privacy, and how things are changing in the digital age, how it's not, what it was, in ancient Greece. Things are very different because, we didn't have these kinds of devices with us at all times, 2,000 years ago. So he's a very good, I do like, his take on it. So along with him building NIM, which is the mixnet that, is looking to replace Tor and is like on its way doing a lot of these, implementing it like into wallets. So they also implement it into Edge. So I do want to talk about their Edge integration. So
sick. And
they also, previously with their old build of NIM, you were able to submit transactions over NIM using the Monero GUI. But now they've recently overhauled to make it easier to use, because previously I think you really had to do a lot of configuring, and a lot of what they've built now, it's a lot easier. It's like plug and play. So I want to see, I mean, they're looking at integrating more. So along with the speakers, we've got a few other like talks that we want to get to. So operational security best practice, I want to take that just because of all these hacks that happened in April alone. It's just a nice way to just sort of step back and think about, what we're doing exactly, and, how we want to go and best protect, our digital setup, however that is. And then also I want to talk about, DPRK, North Korean infiltration and mitigation. So that is becoming more and more real. And you're just seeing this drift hack that happened where $280 million were taken from their treasury in I think mid-April. And it was just a 6-month OPSEC that the drift protocol. I think they're on the Solana ecosystem. Their team was working alongside a whole nother team for 6 months, interacting with them, testing all this software, and they were owned, because they were interacting with these North Korean hackers, with not knowing. And it just how did that happen? And so what exactly that looks like, these remote IT workers, and then also this is very prescient is post quantum privacy protocol comparison. So I want to look at Monero, Zcash, Firo, NIM, and the NIST standards. What exactly are the roadmaps for the projects? I want to compare them.
Oh,
and I also
awesome.
want to discuss, what exactly looks like in the future. NIM's already go.
Well, let me ask you. You think we could stream the talks?
Yeah, I heard you mention that. I honestly, we did this for a meetup we did in PubKey, and I'm down for it. And I, of course, will say, I'll tell people that, hey, we're live streaming here, so if you don't want to be in the camera, you don't need to walk in front of it. But as the whole thing is, I'm kind of all thumbs when I'm when I'm doing the event. I just don't know how much I can pay attention to if I can just set it aside and keep it it would
have to be Tony. We'd have to have you help do that. We could give you.
Yeah, but I'm down. That I like that idea.
Yeah, maybe.
And then also to that point, if we do any of the presentations, I'm also going to get all the presentations and I'm going to put them up at meetup.webwipe.io. So if people let's say somehow we don't do the stream, we can always get the post presentation. So that'll be, once again, the site is meetup.webwipe.io is where I'll throw it.
Yeah. I mean, we don't want to complicate things too much, but maybe if we could just get a phone set up with a decent speaker and we could just stream them out there.
Yeah, that's
Tony, I could talk to you about that, see if we could figure that out, and we could give you some resources to do it.
Yeah, we can coordinate. It's May 5th from 6 to 10. So I don't know exactly if we'll start right at 6. A lot of times just we're pretty flexible with how the schedule will work, as long as we can get the speakers in. And we also depending on who we end up meeting at the event too, maybe we'll throw people onto a panel.
Yeah, right.
So yeah,
that'll be sick. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I also, there's a few like Monero stuff. Like I want to mention edge wall presentation with like the name integration. I do want to talk about the flock cameras. I know you were talking about that, like deflock and what ALPRs, automated license plate readers are. And then I would love to do an Eigenwallet demo in person. That'd be great. Eigenwallet team that I met at Monerotopia, they did a nice demo right before my talk. And it was nice that they more or less their whole talk was, okay, we're doing a live transaction. We'll have a ton of swag from all these different teams. So we're covering like a ton of everything that's there. Like we'll probably shorten wherever there's like no speakers, we might cut out, but we'll that's at least my roadmap.
So I was thinking
ton of content.
A lot of content, and I was thinking, okay, so I'll give my talk, and then because we're gonna use my laptop, and we'll definitely figure out a setup to record, and then we can put all the slides right on my laptop. I mean, we'll talk about it, but yeah,
we could figure. As long as we we'll coordinate offline, and we'll get this set up. So. So this is happening. And then I just want to mention, so whenever we're like traveling around to different cities, like I said, we try and throw these meetups together. So we are doing one following this on June 12th at PubKey in New York City.
Yeah, so, you mentioned that. So I'll definitely try to make
if you're able to make it. I know it's like it's not like it's the easiest to but I think that's a week after MoneroCon. And so if anybody that's in the area that didn't end up going out there, and they feel that, and they're in the city or they're near New York City.
That's awesome.
And I think we'll have Mike Hassard from Roman Sterlingov's legal counsel. And I also have just been speaking with Chris Cialone. He's been following the Roman Storm case. So we'll have some legal updates from those guys. And also I'm looking at, we may have Flashbot's team there. They're working on some cool hardware FOSS projects. Yeah. So things are. I just haven't been putting enough resource towards that, just because I've been trying to take on this.
Yeah, no, you do so much, man, with these meetups. They're great, and I love the ones at PubKey.
Yeah, it's always the PubKey guys are great. It's always a good vibe, and they always, I'm always kind of worried because if we're doing privacy stuff, I mean, we talk about Bitcoin stuff, but
remind me again too, because we could post that one too on our meetup page too. We have we have hundreds of people on there from throughout the years.
Okay,
so we can notify them about the
PubKey one. I will definitely will follow up with you. And if there's anybody if you've got speakers or anybody that is interested, we're always, like I said, this is very flexible. If people want to talk and give short presentations, I telling Tony, like 15, 20 minutes, just because I mean, if it goes longer, that'll be fine. It's not like I'm going to have a hard stop at 20 minutes, but I'm also thinking, it quickly gets out of hand. And so trying to make sure that if we want all these topics to get hit, maybe it's, we control ourselves and say, okay, 20 minutes and then go. But if people want to talk and they want to give presentations further, like that's perfectly fine.
So that's a good segue if you guys don't mind, because I do have to go in a little bit, just kind of like what I thought I'm going to talk about in my speech.
Sure.
So I'm thinking mine is gonna be less technical, because you guys will cover more technical stuff, and then basically just go over in 15-20 minutes, like is privacy for criminals? Why do people think like that? And then the human tendency to want to rule over other people. What's the current situation, and that kind of stuff that we talk in the news section, with the car, and then them trying to get all this data farming on you in the UK, Germany, in Greece. And then what's the future going to look like? Kind of 1984 on steroids. So once that is covered, like where we are and where we're headed, the solution being, one of them being Monero, if you want to have more privacy in your finances, and then a little bit Monero's history, what it's capable of right now, the future of Monero, what it's going to be capable of, and then how to use it, how to spend it. And then if you want to make an impact, if you want to get to know more, come to Monerotopia, or if you have a service, go to Smart Bazaar, or, so I think it'll be nice 15-20 minutes flow of just kind of educating people lightly on this topic and to get them to be interested. So that's what I plan to talk about it at the event.
Yeah, I always like finishing up with actionable advice, just so
exactly.
Yeah, people aren't left feeling either hopeless or black-pilled. Like it's always good to give something, give people something to walk away with.
Give them some hope.
Yeah, exactly. So I do
give them a reason to live.
100%.
For sure. But guys, so I do see a last Anna in here too. So what's up, man? Good to see you.
Yeah, we could run. Let's run the viewers on stage segment, and then if you guys, whoever can stick around, Tony, obviously, if you got to go, whatever you got to do. Webwipe, if you could.
Yeah.
The Monerotopia Viewers on Stage segment is sponsored by XMR Bar. Play dice with Monero using your privacy-respecting and provably fair algorithm. Go to xmr.bar. As always, verify and never trust.
Please gamble responsibly in accordance with the laws of your jurisdiction.
Alrighty.
Right, guys. So I do have to go, but I wanted to say, yeah, it's gonna be awesome event. It's gonna be really nice to be next to Webwipe, who's representing Monero, representing privacy and pushing it to people. So hopefully we're gonna make some. There we go. Nice. Yeah, I have the mug and I have the
classic.
That's awesome.
Cheers, Tony. Thank you.
Tony, thank you so much.
I'll hang around.
Yeah. Tell us actually before tell us what Webwipe is for people that don't know, like the service that you provide.
Cool. Yeah.
In addition to doing all these amazing meetups and community gatherings and everything you do.
Yeah.
What is it that you actually offer, as a service for your day job?
Our website is webwipe.io, and so we do privacy and security consulting services for teams, for individuals, and really it's just we do web scrubbing. So if you are, if there's information or if there's things that you've posted on the web years ago that you need removed, we will go and remove those.
That embarrassing frat video that you have up there from whatever it may be. Everybody's got things.
Yeah, it's becoming a more and more of an issue. Even like background checks for jobs, and if it's very competitive too, you want to have whatever leg up you can. And so along with that, with teams that are, let's say, working in crypto, you become if you're working in crypto, you become instantly a target for social engineering or any kind of like focus attacks. So you want to remove that information. And you're seeing with all these kind of physical attacks, you want to make sure that you protect, where you physically live and lay your head at night. So we do, not just digital web scrubbing, but physical web scrubbing or physical scrubbing. And then along with that, we do the security consulting part where, if you are, you're trying to manage private keys, and a lot of the technical people that are like individuals, they can manage it themselves. But if we're doing it for teams or people that are, not as technical, we go and help build the infrastructure for them. And then also we're a concierge service. So if you are hacked, you've got 24/7 support where if there's, or, you're not exactly sure, or we do malware concierge where if you're unsure what this looks like, we can go and, or if this is malware or not, sending that over. And we can say it again. Yeah. So
I think you said that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
XMR guy. He jumped on last episode. He may not be older than 10 years old. We're not sure. XMR guy, by the way, please make sure you have your parents' permission for hanging out here.
No problem. Nice. I appreciate it. Yeah, I got to start them young. And so
we do.
Along with that, it's we also do wallet recovery, stolen fund recovery. So a lot of individuals don't really have access to using. They don't have access to law enforcement that is like easily available, and then also they don't have access to surveillance tools or just what exactly that looks like. So we will go and follow funds. We've got relationships with exchanges, so we can go and have those funds frozen and recover those funds. So so if people run into those issues, we help that recovery, or then also wallet recovery. If you've lost seeds, or if you are not sure how you can access wallet, we'll go and recover them for you. So
good people to know. Yeah, man. At some point, you'll get a call from me, be like, "Yo, I wanna opt out. I'm ready to opt out. Erase me from the internet." It's gonna be a big job, though, man. It's gonna be a big job.
Webwipe is really only telling half the story, though, like because the recovery and like investigation side of things is like the whole another half. It should be
hopefully I'll
Webwipe
never need you for that
or something like that.
No, Alaska's right. It just trying to the big thing was we were trying to do what services like Delete Me offer, but Delete Me, they run scripts that will go and remove your data from data marketers, but those are just programs. We want to dig in another layer deeper, and because our background was also working specifically in crypto, we're just like, let's tailor this towards crypto people. But of course, people that are just normies that are not exposed to crypto also can use the service. So if you see if you go to webwipe.io and there's like a service page, and you can just see the different tiers that we offer. So, and of course we accept Monero. Without saying, but I guess I gotta say it.
Yeah. And you guys are on XMR Bazaar.
Yes, we are.
You're posted there as well.
Yeah, we also forums. We post the meetups in there. So
awesome.
A bunch of good tools that are coming out from you guys. So appreciate you guys.
Yeah, of course.
So
anybody that wants
on the idea of not black pilling and instead white pilling, I posted in the studio chat a link to Alessandro's update on the results of the previous week's Monero donations, and I think you should pull that up real quick because it's pretty cool. But more importantly, now we know we can trust these guys 100% for sure, because apparently one of them drives a Toyota Hilux, which means that he has the best taste in vehicles. And I mean, there's the right answer and the wrong answer. The right answer is the Toyota Hilux, and everything else is I don't have access to a Toyota Hilux.
It's like crypto
unstoppable
and Monero.
Yeah, so all of these donations were all in Monero, and you can pull up. Now it's translated, ladies and gentlemen, so we are not here to vouch for Twitter's translation functions, but assuming that it is accurate. But as you can see, and maybe like pull up some of the flood pictures kind of give a better idea of what they were dealing with, because we didn't really get a whole lot of imagery last week, although I think he's proven himself to be trustworthy. But now you can see here, like these people, as bright and cheery as they were, they did go through hell, as you can see. Like this is pretty devastating. And then as you can see, the speed at which Monero was deployed to actually help people immediately, truly incredible. And
yeah, it's hard to tell how much flooding that is.
Monero saves the day again.
It always does, right? Like I mean, find me where the hell is all of these like NGOs and stuff, right? Like Monero was on the scene immediately.
Look at this.
That's what happens when you eat Taco Bell.
La perrita se bajó de la cama.
Look at that, though. I mean, I was in Monero Town, guys. It's a rough place in terms of the environment, so there's no exaggeration here. I'm sure it was some major flooding. But yeah, nice to see that people stepped up and donated.
Yeah, and this is the kind of marketing that Monero needs. Like, there's been a lot of discussion, like Fluffy Pony had mentioned how, like, marketing is pointless. People will find their way to Monero, blah, blah, blah. It's like, I only agree to that concept to a point, but this is what the people need to see. And it needs to be paired up with, let's see somebody using Zelle, get all of this deployed this rapidly. Exactly. Let's see these NGOs come out here. And,
that would be a pain.
Yeah, like this. The thing is this is like real life proof And when I'm having, you know, more private conversations with people, I tell them about like the Venezuela schools or, you know, some of the other stuff that I wouldn't say like really publicly. But Monero has a mechanism by which it can get around the barriers and the friction and deploy Monero to where it is needed the most. And the speed at which we were able to help
helps with that.
Say again. I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
Shopping.bit helps with that.
Yeah, like and all of these ecosystems that are coming together, like he's talking about, are just making it easier and easier for people to actually deploy their capital to really.
But in Monero Town, it really works, right? Because we're able to send Monero peer to peer, no fees taken. And then once they have it, like you're saying, they're actually able to deploy it because they're already using Monero there. So it's like they're already able to use it among each other. Like, oh, go to the supermarket, buy the stuff, buy all the water with Monero directly, and then for practically zero fees, no scam fees taken. Every dollar you send goes directly to them doing whatever they're trying to do over there, right?
And so as a Christian, like normally the plan is, you know, let your alms be given in secret, and you're supposed to, you know, not seek credit. So at the risk of sounding like I'm doing that, like what I want to tell people is, when I reached out to him and I was like, all right, let me help. What do you want? You know, I did offer actual fiat Fed notes, and I offered to even go through the process of getting it converted into, you know, fiat funny money, Fed coin, Argentinian collapse coins. And he specifically said no. Like I would like the Monero. I can use the Monero faster, better, cheaper. It is a better option.
Monero is the best. Yeah.
Yeah, but the people who they need help now in Argentina preferred the Monero. And that should tell you something, because like they need the help right now. Like they're desperate right now. And for them to go out and say like, no, don't bother, send the Monero. And now here it is, you know, not even a week later, everything is deployed. People are being helped. A guy driving a Toyota Hilux is assisting them. So, you know, he's competent and, you know, he's a genius. Like, but the thing is this is the marketing that we need, and it cuts right through all the bullshit.
Plus, it's free marketing.
Exactly. Like, who is going to say, "Oh, we have to stop Monero because criminals are using it," when you can say, "Yeah, but look at these people right here. Like this is a rescue plan that actually works right now." Are they going to say, "Oh, but what if we, you know, what if blah 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 criminals?" It's like, so let's just let everybody get malaria then. Is that the plan? Like, let's just let everybody die. You know, like it cuts through all of the bullshit right up front. And it's exactly what we need to be talking about right now. It would be kind of cool to get a follow-up with one of those guys too at some point, to just be like, you know, what did it help with Ibarra to, like, people who are kind of on the fence, like coming around or whatever, you know, that would be huge.
The flooding pics that we were seeing of the people walking through the water up to their shins, was that from the day of, or is that like recently from? I see it's April 25th, so that must have been that day.
Yeah, I don't know how long.
My understanding of the geology is part of the problem is the only place that drains is the really, really old irrigation systems. Because it's got like kind of a hard pan underneath, so there's really nowhere for the water to go. Doug, wasn't it pretty flat there, and like
super flat?
Yeah, and the soil like a couple of inches deep. That's when you start to hit like clays and stuff. So where would the water go? They're probably sitting in stagnant water for days on end.
It's like a lake got created in their town. It's like they got to wait for it to evaporate. Yeah, I don't know.
In the very long term, it can help with, you know, like kind of the ecology of things. But in the realistic, you know, like near term, they don't have the infrastructure to deal with that kind of water problem. And one of the things that Andreas was telling us during the interview was not only is the government like not going to help them, but like these people are so petty and so locked in these stupid political battles that they would almost certainly just let these people die. Like and you know, all of these people who are like, yeah, based Argentina, you know, or whatever. It's like, yeah, there's some truth to the fact that the political movements there are possibly a net positive for like an anarchist worldview. The reality of the situation is it is effectively just as disgusting as anywhere else you go in the world. You know, the theft and the pillaging of the people carries on as usual. You know, political power is concentrated in the hands of, you know, the old money and the old guard. And even Malay and even the governor, he was saying that since before Andreas was even born, or before Alessandro was even born, the same governor has been in power forever. And he's just been basically torturing the people. Like nothing ever gets done. Nothing ever gets fixed. And then the people who are here to like save the day are doing absolutely nothing to fix the problem. So it once again falls on the free, independent humanity to send money to people with Toyota Hiluxes to go rescue the people on the ground. Like the boots on the ground are the only people that ever matter in the end. And you try to do it through an NGO and you can count on that money to go kill some starving Africans or whatever, you know, because that's all they care about is, you know, slavery and destruction.
Yeah, this removes this. I think why many of us are involved is like to remove the middleman and even the NGOs. It's, I mean, unless you can actually see with you just don't have time to go watch where the money is flowing. So like, you know, so it just makes it. I mean, that's why people donate to these, you know, either charitable organizations, but, you know, still very far removed. So getting it directly into the hands of the people there, but then also people having somewhere where they can actually spend the resources or build up their own community is super important. So I mean, we can see it looks like they were able to, or at least they're in the process of doing that. Now, they were also supposed to have the paddleball tournament? I guess.
They have the paddle facility.
Yeah, that's happening. That's happening.
It's already up and running. People use it. It's profitable, in fact.
They have a tournament coming up.
The Cake Latam Cup.
Yeah, they said they postponed it until the end of the month because it was going to be right at the beginning of May or whatever, but they said they postponed it for a couple of weeks to give time for the to get cleaned up and stuff like that.
Yeah, we'll probably try to we'll see much try to stream the finals of the.
I guess that's what we will be able to get an update for sure on you know, if we end up waiting till then, you know, at least figure out how everything went leading up to.
By the way, Doug, I would like to point out that this is an excellent opportunity to promote the fact that the XMR Bazaar has a map feature, and you can add yourself to that map. And so if you are in an area like this, you can add yourself to this map. Although to avoid any kind of scams, you might want to put in some sort of feature that tells you when the last update was, so that you can know that this person was added 2 years ago to this place instead of being added, you know, 6 minutes ago. That way, you know that nobody's trying to take advantage of people.
Yeah, and during the interview, Doug is like, "Yeah, you should get on XMR Bazaar," and they're like, "We already are." Like every single person was just like, "Yeah, we're already using it. It's great."
I don't waste an opportunity though. Yeah, I'm like, come on, put it up there.
Yep,
let's get it up.
You know how another reason you know with absolute certainty that these people are credible, good people that you can safely send your, other than the Toyota Hilux, which is already 100% guaranteed that he's based as hell. You notice how all of the helper people in those videos and stuff, they're all just like jacked, bro. It's like every single one of them is just standing up straight, like ready to help. Just, yeah, it's so, these people are enlightened. All right. They take Monero, they drive the right vehicles. They're totally shredded.
Right.
All they want to do
I don't know
help.
what happened over there in this little village, how they became so based. Even their soccer club is called Libertad, right? It's the land of liberty in Argentina. They're freedom-loving people for sure.
I've got to get down there, man. Like it's not just on my bucket list. It's like at the tippy top of my bucket list. I'm just like too involved in so many projects that it's like hard to
There's
do.
a bunch of XMR Bazaar listings in Asuncion, the city in Paraguay, right? That's funny too. That's quite a few listings. And so
and like there's a lot of interactions on that little area of the border too.
And then here's Monero Town over here. But pretty amazing to see all the listings popping up nearby.
You know what
sorry,
I think
guys,
is, it's all good, dude. What I think is really cool is like the aesthetics that Anarchio has going on with like as you zoom in and like the way that it kind of spirals out. Like he's a very artistic individual for sure. It looks gorgeous.
Yeah, he does a good job. I mean, yeah, the graphics obviously can be better and whatnot on the XMR Bazaar, but his real skill is
cranking it out and getting it done is what I think his real skill is.
Yeah, getting it done and doing things in a very privacy preserving way. He's very cognizant of that because I mean he's always going through Tor and whatnot. So any XMR Bazaar, if it works for him, it works for anybody anywhere in the world. And so he's built it in a way where he can access it and fully use it, being completely off the grid. So I think that's his real skill set. It's like very, it's definitely very cypherpunk the way he's built it. What else we got, guys? Anything anybody wants to bring up? Anybody new want to jump up? We put the link in the chat. Any other stories we got to touch upon? We go. I mean, like I think obviously we touched upon all the big news.
There is one thing that I wanted to mention about like what's been going on in the news lately. Mm-hmm. People listening to this, one of the best things that we can do is anybody supporting these like internet ID verification, age verification, whatever, anybody who even in a passing comment mentions that it's could even conceptually be a good idea at all, those people are anathema to everything that we believe in. And no matter how they dress it up, no matter what they do, like anybody who supports this stuff, like the fangs need to come out from this community and they need to be absolutely ostracized. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you could maybe have some room for like people who, you remember how they put age verification in system D, and like the idea was like not necessarily that guy, because like he's trying to kind of solve the problem but also make it possible to opt out, make it possible to take it out of the OS or whatever. But I'm talking like politically, like these politicians who are saying like this is a good idea, let's make it law. Every single one of them needs to be lambasted in every direction, no matter what country they're in, no matter like, because this has to be completely unacceptable. This is one of like the linchpins in the future technocratic, you know, like cyber technocracy death state. This is so important to them to get, and to try to get it as deep as possible into the systems that run things, that like this has to be a absolutely no-fly zone for our community. And anybody who's like sponsored one of these bills or hasn't even taken a stand against it, like that has to be your line in the sand, because it's as important as gun rights. You know, like you lose this and it's pretty much over. Like everything moves to the darkest parts of the internet immediately, and it cuts off access to almost every normie from any level of freedom. Now, that's not to say that some of us wouldn't be able to figure it out or whatever, but like, we're not going to be able to help you anymore. We're not going to be like, you are cutting yourself off from the free
entire internet is like a walled garden at that point.
Exactly. This has to be like absolutely not. And we have to like be loud about it.
For sure. And it's gaining traction. I mean, it's going to start to happen, right? In different countries, it's going to get implemented, digital IDs.
And be on guard for, they're going to astroturf the shit out of this. Okay. They're going to have all kinds of fake bot accounts saying, but my children, and what they're going to come up with fake news stories. They're going to come up with,
Republicans are going to be for it. The Democrats are going to be for it. They're each going to have their different reasons.
They're going to tell you like, oh, we would have caught this terrorist if age verification. We would like, don't buy any of it. Okay, like it's all gonna be fluff. It's all gonna be fake. Like, and even if it was true, it doesn't matter. Like what is the threat that emerges if you give a technocracy this kind of power? Like, even if for the next 50 years nobody abused it, it doesn't matter. You just set your grandkids up for slavery. Like, and unless you are totally cool with selling your grandkids out to slavery, you are the problem if you don't fight this at every level. Like, this is as bad as it gets.
100. All right, guys. Anybody else want to jump on up? Now's the time.
Otherwise, we could just go ahead and call it an early show.
Yeah, we could do that.
Have you noticed the show has been ending a little bit earlier recently?
Yeah, we picked up the pace, which is good. Yeah,
right.
Right?
So
I mean, we don't need to drag things out. We have plenty of content, all right? No need to just hang out for no reason.
Since I got you guys here, let me ask, Doug, have you spoken, after you spoke with Boone, have you spoken with any of the other Thorchain people?
A little bit behind the scenes, but not much. Maybe we'll have another show when they're ready to launch. We could have somebody come on.
Yeah, it seems like it's getting closer, at least I think.
Yeah, very exciting to see that Thorchain, I mean, it's happening. Monero is going to be live on Thorchain before we know, which is going to be insane. It was interesting to see with the North Korea stuff, right, with Thorchain, how they were, dealing with that situation, which is basically doing nothing, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna read a couple of these things real quick. Cellar Door was just because he's part of the show, right? So Cellar Door says first, based Argentina is a thing of the past, especially since BB's cousin was placed, at least before they had a chance. And then the next statement by Celador is UI is peak from everything I've interacted with, and the kinks get worked out quickly. I believe he's talking about XMR Bazaar, which I 100% agree. The speed at which like bugs and UI stuff is fixed it's amazing. And then the next statement by him is they're grasses and they're dangerous. I'm not actually sure what he's talking about there. I probably should
I don't know.
Reading through this faster. I'm sure there's context from the show that like I'm too retarded to like remember 10 minets back.
I don't know what that was about, yeah.
But the next one is at XMR guy, talking to you, young homie. You check out that Philosophy of Liberty link I posted at the top of the show. I'm going to repost it if I can.
XMR guy, anything you want to state this week? Anything you want to put out there? Any thoughts, opinions?
The next step for XMR Bazaar is an I2P link.
Okay.
Yep.
we added a .onion address for XMR Bazaar. You're requesting an I2P link. Okay.
Yeah, might as well. I mean, you got one. Why not have the other?
I love this XMR guy, man. It's unbelievable.
Dude,
the
it's,
people we bring out. It's
we may have
incredible.
lost the millennials, but Gen Z and Gen Alpha is ours, bro.
They're back.
We got it. So the last things that he said, if it's bored later, it's worth your time. By the way, XMR guy, I do. Yeah, it's grounding yourself in the fundamentals of liberty is absolutely a wise choice, because as history moves forward and as time marches on, they always come up with a way to convince people to stray from their morals. I think the best evidence possible was the Donald Trump era. If anybody remembers, it's like, who needs liberty when we can have a thieving tyrant, right? Like, how many people that you thought were on your side were just like,
or Rickroll.
What's that? Say again, buddy.
Or Rickrolls.
Rickrolls. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Everybody was Rickrolled by Donald Trump, right? Like it's totally true. The last two things to say is thanks, bro. Great monologue, Alaskanon, maybe Askanon, right? Making an ass of myself on the internet. It needs to be said and often. I appreciate that, bro. And then Justice says, yes, much appreciated. We love you. Aw, bros. And just a reminder, guys, like the trouble in Argentina for Ibereta is not over. Go find Alessandro, kick your donations. These people are freedom loving, and it's one of the poorest places in Argentina. They could use the help.
Nice. You getting rickrolled?
Yes. By the way, did any of those tweets have how much Monero was raised? Because if they did, I couldn't see it.
I don't think it was like the total, but he did at one point like give a little bit of an update on how much he had got. It was, decent. Like
I'm gonna post the Rickroll before DMCA.
Yes, eventually you're on a terrorist watch list if you play that song. So just keep that. Don't worry, bro. You're almost certainly already on that watch list. He put XMR on something. Off to the gulag.
It's fine.
Yeah, I see
you there, bud. Like,
on the
I know how to make the best toilet wine you've ever had in your life.
On the 25th, I see that they posted about 0.64 Monero, and I think there's another time where they point about 0.75 Monero, but that was 25th, so it's been a bit.
Yeah, I know they made it farther than that, but it's. I'm not gonna say how I know, but I know they made it farther than that. But just keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, like everything from fuel to food, like they're hurting, and they might not look like it. They're so positive. They're always the thing about people in Ibereta is they have like the most unassailable spirit. Like they're just the happiest, coolest people ever. But it's rough.
It's a beautiful town. It's a beautiful place.
Battery, please end the show already.
All right, yeah, we can end it here. We can end it here. We do these shows every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern. Thanks for everybody that joined. We'll be back next week. We were gonna try to stream the privacy side conference that Webwipe is running next week.
Once we're off air, I did a Rickroll.
All right.
Oh, one other thing. If you guys haven't checked it out yet, go to Monero Masters YouTube channel if you're fiending for more Monero content. The man's a gangster. Everybody should be supporting his hard work.
Oh, yes, and that last video was really good. I got to see it, and it was really good.
Thanks, bro. Awesome. It was all him, though. Like, I'm just, yeah.
All right, guys, we'll see you next week. And we have Jay Berman coming up this week on Monero Talk. But let's go ahead and roll the credits.
Thank you for joining us on this week's Monerotopia episode. We stream live shows every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern. You can find and subscribe to our show on YouTube, Odyssey, Rumble, Twitch, iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to follow us on X or join us in the Monerotopia Telegram group. See you all next week.